That's not
Take
terrible.
that off again.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
That's not terrible. I'm not a big porter guy. But that's not bad.
And I already hit the go live.
Not what I was expecting though.
I didn't hit do not disturb. And
We're
okay.
we're live.
Everybody knows we always have problems.
Yeah, wife messed up.
Who's that guy on the screen there?
It wouldn't be a.
No idea. Some random guy.
Some random guy.
Okay.
It wouldn't be one of my streams if we didn't have technical difficulties. So.
We're gonna kind of let people filter in here as we get started here.
Oh, my dad in the hospital. I can see somebody calling him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Riley's in here commenting.
All right, we'll give people
Aren't you
a
driving?
couple minutes to kind of filter in here. We are joined by Will Mateffy, who is a motive staffer. Colin's a big fan.
Stops by the shop once every day almost.
Yeah.
Isn't he? You're also a pro shop operator, correct?
That is correct.
Do you manage the shop like the GM of the shop, or just
Just manage it.
manage it? Okay.
It's formerly owned by Mike Fagan. He's no longer with our company, but
Oh, cool. I didn't realize Did Mike Fagan live in your area?
he does right now. He used to
That's different.
move from Vegas, I believe, and he moved all the way over here to be the what was his title? Director of Business Development
Gotcha. Okay.
for Triple Shift Entertainment. So
I mean, I haven't seen that guy do anything.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I do remember him getting that job. So
Still beyond floors me that he decided to just up and retire from the tour. It just, guy's unrealistic hand, man. That just. Did you ever see the video or the show that was it Discovery Channel or some one of those channels did on his swing and his release?
yeah,
It's stupid. Like what he does with his wrist, and I hurt just watching it.
I think it's one of those things where he was. I remember seeing an interview or something, and after he won that major, he thought it would, do something.
Yeah,
And
that's
it was
true.
just kind of like, oh, okay, you won the major, we'll take pictures, whatever else, here's your check, and then right back to
Yep.
kind of business,
Mediocrity, yeah.
business as usual on the tour, and it's just, especially with, his degree or how much. I mean, that's why guys like Scott Norton don't bowl on tour, and it's just day jobs are more predictable, they're more lucrative, they're more whatever else. Yeah, you get the buzz of being on tour, but it's kind of rough, and it's not really
It's
everybody's thing. I mean, obviously he knows he can win out there. There's a lot of guys that don't bowl on tour that know that they can win out there, but it's just kind of rough.
P. Weber
so.
ruined Mike Fagan. With the who do you think you are? I am. He was bullying Fagan in that game.
Yeah, I know.
Poor Fagan. Mm-hmm. He just got caught with Pete trying to get himself pissed off.
Oh yeah, Perry Kroll.
Perry Kroll comes to mind. Yeah, Colin, good one there. Perry Kroll, a kid is. Last we saw him at Swiss Trios, believe it or not. I think he
Yeah.
was there bowling.
Yeah, yep.
All right.
All right, so I think we've got enough people in here now. This is going to be kind of just kind of a random. We're going to toss a bunch of things around. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Will's a motive guy. He's also with us on Coolwick. We do have a couple of sharp new designs coming out.
Yes, we do.
I think it was the Onyx Gold and then the Fire Honeycomb.
Yeah,
honeycomb is so cool.
it is
Yeah,
really cool. I'm a bad boy. I
I
didn't
think
share that. I
the
forgot.
teal honeycomb is one of that and Space Cat. Now Space Cat's really
The Space Cat is huge.
catching on, but
I love it. We need to do another design of a cat. Like
yeah,
we've already done the Space Cat. We need something else, like a cat riding a horse. Just something stupid like that.
yeah.
With a
All right.
lasso there, Wild Bill.
All right, so Will, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from? You've had a pretty big year here so far, on several different fronts. So let's go on ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself here.
Yeah, so I'm on motive staff as of September of last year. I currently run a pro shop all the way out in St. Paul, right off of the highway, so it's pretty easy to get to, and one of probably the busiest centers in Minnesota, I would say.
Cool.
I bowl a lot of stuff around the Twin Cities area. around Midwest. So I get out there, not really open on the weekends, so because I just like to bowl. So whenever there's a tournament, I'm usually out there. Yeah, I've been on I've been fortunate enough to get on Coolwick staff, Turbo staff, and KR as well.
That's right. He's with us with Turbo as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What is your role with KR? Are you? I see on your page you're a brand ambassador.
So it was a thing last year that we were trying to get like a brand ambassador program.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I guess it's kind of like product and product representative of Turbo, same kind of thing.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, I get it.
So, it was a program we tried to kick off, and it doesn't really seem to be move it as much anymore. So it's kind of calmed down. So
They still make some cool shoes though.
yeah. Well, speaking about that, you see the
new shoes.
They announced just a new Motive shoe.
Yeah.
Motive didn't even tell us, but KNR did.
No, we found out as soon as everybody else did.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It got shared in the staff group, and all of a sudden, it's just they didn't have a choice. It's there.
Yeah. Sometimes that's one of those things where you just gotta let. In today's age of social media, it's hard to keep something under wraps, and once it's out there, it's out there. So you might as well just go with it.
Embrace it at that point. Yeah. Hey, $5 there.
Hey, thanks a bunch. This
Tell-
is Steve Stone. Tell him I said hi. Tell
What's up,
Will
buddy?
Steve Stone says he's an awesome bowler and an awesome pro shop engineer.
Sweet.
He's another one of my customers.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Engineer. I don't think I've
Mhm.
heard that way.
Yeah. Hey,
If you're good enough.
if you're good enough, you can definitely be an engineer.
Oh, no, I totally buy it. I just don't think I've actually heard somebody say that. That's really awesome.
Yeah, so you've had some big sets here recently. At least one big one here.
Yeah,
Was it about a week or so ago?
About that Iron Forge, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, last Friday is funny because I ran the front 8 first game, and I thought the left lane was not hooking as much because I was going in light, so I tried to move a board right, more on the friction, because at Sunray you really want to be on the friction and try to get the ball to tumble a little bit,
Yep.
and that's kind of what that ball does, especially on the friction. Doesn't really like to flip too much. It kind of just slows down and stops. That's what I really like about it. So, I tried to move a board, and then it just went straight a little bit and hit a little light, and I couldn't carry the 7. And then I ran the next 4, and then whacked a 10 off a good shot, then punched, and then between games 2 and 3, I actually fit someone for a new ball that I talked to him like a couple days ago, and he goes, I see him going to the pro shop, and I'm like, can I help you with anything? He goes, yeah, I was looking for that ball that we talked about on Monday.
Oh no.
Can I be fit for it right now and drilled? I'm like, well, I'm really rolling off like 279s, so I don't really want to do too much, but I could fit you. So I fit him in like 3 minutes, and then I got back and I 2-pinned, and then I ran the next 11.
Yeah.
848.
Nice set, man. That's awesome. Good stuff. And you were throwing the new Iron Forge, correct?
That is correct.
So what are your thoughts so far on it?
I really like that ball, like I said, on the friction. It's
Yeah.
really, really good when I need to stay farther to the right and kind of chuck it a little bit, because it likes to roll a bit soon and
It does. Yes.
kind of tumbles a little bit. And it's kind of nothing that we've seen before. Kind of like the velocity, I like to get a little bit farther left and shape the lane.
Right.
Iron Forge, I keep my angles a little bit tighter and not too much opened up. Unless
Yeah.
I'm throwing a little bit slow and get around it.
Yeah, because it's with that cover, it's still got the chuggy core, and it's
Yeah.
like Luke says, it kind of looks like and I agree with him. Just going back and looking at previous little videos, it looks a lot like a old tribal,
Yeah.
just with a stronger cover. I mean, it's
Yeah, the tribal was on the weaker side, but it's
Yeah.
just that general shape that you can just kind of chuck it at the spot, or not necessarily chuck it at the spot. You can roll the ball and just kind of get it there, and then it kind of has that kind of continuous walking up
yeah.
type of.
And, I mean,
Exactly.
it's. I was at first, I was like, how is this going to look? And then now guys are just shooting scores like crazy. I mean, they're not shooting scores like the UC3 and the Helios, but I mean,
Today's
Yeah.
Aspen Scotch Day.
Oh. Aspen Peak, we might have to. Yeah,
that's not a good
That's
idea.
terrible
Oh,
idea.
Please no.
Let me out of the way, please.
Let everybody.
Cause but the Iron Forge will be coming out on the 24th, which is Wednesday. Is that right? Is that
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right in time for Black Friday and all the
yep.
pro shop sales.
So you can head to your local pro shop and pick one up very soon. Actually, you can pre-order it now.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can head to Bowler's Mart or head over and see Will. Go pick up an
Yeah,
Iron
yeah.
Forge.
If you're up there in Minnesota,
Colin, you're on here. Go get yourself an Iron Forge.
yeah.
He was talking about it. He goes, "That ball looks really, really good."
It does. It does. You're actually going to get him to throw something other than the green ball?
Yeah, I wanted then
Don't
an
know
all
about
road
that.
or an all road or another all road.
All road or a high road max. That's all I ever hear him
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah, just the FE2 part.
Yeah.
He sends me a picture of his bag and he goes, "Hey, is this a good bag?" And there's 3 all roads.
Yeah, 3 all roads and a high road and a high road
What
max
is-
and whatever
what is
else.
going on here?
So-
It needs to Colin, have like a 5-minute roast Colin section.
You need to get him into an Enzo because
I do think an Enzo would
with-
look pretty good for
he
him.
likes the roads, see all things high road.
hmm
The Enzo is in kind of that. It's in that general area.
It is. I agree. I really like the Enzo a lot. That's definitely one of my favorite releases of this year. So, you guys have 2 new balls that came out Friday with some massive scores.
Yeah, yeah. Schlem has this thing for putting out balls that shoot 900 apparently. So
Yeah. Well, the same guy that shot 900 turned around the next couple nights later and shot 848 or 850 or something with the UC3, right?
yeah, I think the
Yeah.
UC3 is going to help us catch up in the whole urethane game thing because the purple tank is amazing, and obviously the purple hammer is the purple hammer.
hmm
And I mean we've got the pitch black, but it's a little one note.
Yeah.
You know, the purple hammer you can move around with, the purple tank you can move around with, pitch black. I mean, if you're Belmo or, you want to throw it 12 miles an hour, you can move around with it too. But now I think we've actually got something for our guys that'll do what other companies have for their staffers or their crews.
It looks pretty good. The UC3 looks silly. It really does. It's definitely the closest thing to the purple you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that Helios looks pretty good too. I mean, if somebody shots 900 with it, it's probably not going to be bad. But
Yeah, there's been quite a few big scores with that one. It's basically an idol that punches more.
it looks like a little punchier idol.
Yeah, kind of if you if you combine the Idol Pro and the Idol and kept it from, so somehow the Idols used to be if you got it a little bit wide, any one of them would just kind of stop and hit flat. This one actually picks up and it's better on friction. It doesn't burn so much or give up so much when it hits friction. So it's a little bit quicker and it handles friction a little bit better without kind of straightening out or losing energy or anything like that. So
Are you bringing it for the Taj Mahal today?
probably not. It's going to be too much shape.
It's going to be way too much shape, especially on the left side.
Yeah, I'm bringing urethane, more urethane, and then promotions, which are basically
We can
urethane.
talk about bags today too. I mean, we got a little bit. We
Yeah.
can talk a little bit about everything.
So-
You got anything you're bowling coming up, man?
So yeah, I have a bunch of stretch of in December. It's gonna be pretty busy. So we have a scratch series called Central Bowlers Alliance Tour.
Uh huh.
You ever heard of like Chad Nelson, Dan Bach,
Yep.
Yeah,
Dave
yep.
Ullman?
Uh,
Yeah, they all bowl it. So I got that coming up next Sunday, and then there's a bunch of tournaments within pretty much 4 weekends in a row, going up to Christmas.
That's kind of how we're at right now too. As we got we bowl today. We bowl a big series called Tour of Kansas City. It's a points tournament, year-long points tournament. We're down to our last 3 point tournaments. They just happen to actually be in our hometown this weekend, so we're kind of excited about that because we travel a lot for them. We bowl today at 1 o'clock Central Time on the Taj Mahal pattern, like we talked about earlier, 38 foot. And then we turn around tomorrow and bowl on a rec pattern, right? Kegel High Street.
yeah, it's a longer pattern.
It's about 44 foot it's the V2 version of it, so it's got a little more volume.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
sure.
longer. It's a little bit more volume. This house kind of plays like it's a synthetic house, but it plays like a wood house. So it's
Oh, great.
it's bunch
Yeah.
of friction and the sharpest ball motion you've ever seen anywhere. It's everything that you can do to calm stuff down. So
Yeah.
you've got purple tank blitz,
Yep.
forge flare.
Yep.
You know, just
I've got
even having
yeah.
even having a lower rev rate and playing more direct, you still got all the chuggy slow stuff.
Oh, the desert is also coming too. So if you didn't say desert, desert's definitely going. It'll
was
get
one
some
of the
fresh
ones I never
surface,
threw.
and which I actually threw that in Wichita more than I ever thought I would. So we have that. Those two tomorrow or today and tomorrow. Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving, we actually have a big Thanksgiving Eve tournament where we end up getting like 130 bowlers every year. It's stupid.
Oh wow.
We start at 7 p.m. We don't usually walk out of the building until like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
yeah.
As much action as you
it's-
want. And then, the week after, the weekend of Thanksgiving, we don't have anything. But the following weekend, we've got something. I think the weekend after.
It's tournament season, my friend.
It's silly.
Yeah, and we have
And I need to hit shops.
we're in either a good area or a bad area, depending on who you talk to or what perspective or what angle you're looking at it from. Because Francois Lavoie is going to be there today.
Packy.
Packy's going to be there. Kevin Williams is going to be there, and then all the the locals. So we have a lot of sweepers around here that are basically like mini regionals. At least it feels like.
Yeah,
But
I didn't see Brad on the list today.
now something you mentioned earlier about being closed on the weekends for the pro shop thing. That's something I don't think a whole lot of people understand that don't work in a pro shop. They think if you work in a pro shop that you get to bowl all the time and you get cheap equipment, but it's kind of the opposite. You don't
You don't get
ever
to
get to bowl
bowl at
because
all.
you're always working when everybody else is bowling. So
That's actually, that's pretty, I'm glad you said that. That's pretty awesome.
So,
that
yeah,
you
you
take the time
kinda-
to close the shop and actually do you. You know what I mean? That's really good. Because a lot
Well,
of
that's the thing that's the difference between like managing a pro shop and owning it. Owning it, you kind of want to put more time into it. So, I mean, I'm going to find someone else. I'm trying to force Colin to get in my shop.
Yep.
I know he wants to, but I'm trying to get someone that can drill or wants to drill.
That way they can
and
work Saturdays.
Open up on the weekends.
Cough, cough, Colin. If you're still here.
I'm sure he's still here.
I think he's bowling today, isn't he?
He said he's bowling. But yeah, it's the difference between managing a shop and owning a shop.
It makes sense. Is that your full-time job?
It is my full-time job now, yeah.
Awesome.
And then taking everybody else's money on the weekends.
That's right.
I
don't-
try my best.
Yeah, I don't have any experience doing that, but
The other night
That's
you
why-
said bracket finals. What's that?
yeah. Can you spell that for me? Can you use it in a sentence? What is its country of origin or language of origin?
Gosh. Oh, I want to drill. Teach me. There you go. Slightly slanted sleuth for truth says, I want to drill. Teach me. Are you in the chat, Will? Can you see it? There's a little.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I
that's
have
Steve Stone.
that's why I have a YouTube channel. So if I don't strike, I can just hit the reset button and edit it out later. The rest of these suckers actually have to shoot that nonsense.
Boom.
Yeah.
Nothing more frustrating when you go to shoot a review video though, and the reset button doesn't work.
Oh my God, we had that the other night.
I had that
I like
happen, and I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because
The
it.
counter said that there are 4 lanes after installing that new software that are doing that.
Uh-uh.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's good. It was like the ball didn't look good on what I was bowling on at that time, anyways. And then I was trying to rush because I had to hurry up and bowl league right after, and still needed to eat dinner, and the reset button wouldn't work, and I was
Yeah.
frying out like the ball looked terrible.
Yeah, there's
think-
nothing.
Oh,
What's that?
I think the most frustrating thing about shooting ball review videos is going to the house and hoping that the pair is somewhat fresh.
oh, it
So
was
that-
definitely fresh, but it was one of those nights like you know how at RC every once in a while they get stupid tight.
Yeah.
It was one of those nights. It was stupid tight, and I was throwing the Iron Forge. I had to that my video was not that night. It was just it was so wet, and the ball was just pukey, and it definitely was not the right ball at the time.
Yeah.
So, trust me, the ball's still good, people.
Yeah,
Just not that night.
We're fortunate enough that the house that we shoot stuff at, all we have to do is send a text message, and they'll.
They run us a pair and hold it.
Yeah, they run us a pair and they'll hold it. Even if they're busy or whatever, they'll put us next to league, and the leagues around here are cool with it, as long as we stay out of their way. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're kind of lucky to have that situation. The owner is a bowler. He's there all the time. The
Yeah.
manager is a bowler. He's there all the time. Had the same staff for I don't know how many years, and it's just a really fortunate situation to be in because there's some places where you kind of got to go in there, and they'll give you what they got, and it may or may not work out, and it's like how do you shoot a ball video on something that's beat up, and they kind of look at it. Well, I mean, you're good, aren't you? I mean,
That's not
yes,
what,
but that's not
not
the
what
way.
we're trying to go for.
Yeah. I'm trying to show off the ball reaction. I mean, if you're asking me if I can strike on something that's difficult, I can do that. But I'm trying to show off. That's not the point.
I'm trying to make this bowling
So-
ball look good right now, okay? That's good.
No, that is actually how you spell Jesse's name, Colin.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Kind of talk a little bit about.
Yeah. Now we're on to where is it?
Oh, I put it
no,
back there. I'm a
yeah.
ding dong.
Now we're on to the Sam Adams Reunion IPA.
It's actually pretty good. It's
Yeah.
not really
Never
hoppy
did
though.
one.
Golden IPA, bright citrus and pine aromatics with lightly toasted malt.
Have you ever had the Sam Adams Winter Lager?
No, I had their Oktoberfest for many years.
Their
That's
Oktoberfest
really
is
good.
pretty good. We were actually drinking that last weekend. But their Winter Lager is really good. It's one of my favorites. So if I go to a restaurant and if they say Sam Adams seasonal, I say, please tell me it's the Winter Lager.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, we had that on tap at our center.
Oh,
didn't have that
yeah.
well, my liver would hurt. Sorry. Usually it's my waistline's furious.
Yeah, this is the time of year.
Dude, we'll have to have you come out here with Colin one of these times and hit some of our tournaments because, like the Tour of KCs that we do, we have pretty good fields. Like the night before Thanksgiving, we'll probably have Packy, Frankie, Brad Miller, Kevin Williams. Frank, did I say Frankie? Yeah.
Zach Wilkins is.
Zach Wilkins is in town right now. He's bowling
Oh.
today too, I think.
Yeah, we've had
no, he's not bowling today.
Butters.
Neil Cooley.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Neil Cooley.
He's a Minnesota guy originally.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah, he is. He is like he's in Tulsa this weekend. Yeah, he's on Kansas City area staff with me. So.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to think.
About time he throws it good enough.
Yeah, he does. He does throw it good. If he throws anything other than the VIP,
Livers are overrated.
He loves that ball, doesn't he?
he does love that ball, and that's one thing I'm not a fan of that ball. That ball is meant for high speed and high rev rates.
What?
The EJ ball.
Oh, the EJ ball. I thought he was doing it with the Affliction. Not
No, it's the VIP.
Oh no. Okay.
The original VIP. We got a loose sighting. What?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love the Affliction. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, the Affliction? It's money.
Not a lot of people like it though.
No, I love it. I've got a blank one still at home.
Same here.
It's I need to check and make sure it's still okay. But
Yeah, I think that's the unfortunate thing sometimes is that the balls that end up looking the best, they're not the sexiest ball reactions. They don't go down and turn sideways, and so the balls that score the best aren't the balls that that people want a whole lot of the time.
I drilled when I first got it. I never threw it at all, and then because Luke talked me into going pin down on it. I don't remember exactly where the pin is at on it, and I was so against it, because I've just never pinned down stuff. Has always looked like garbage in my hands, and then he's been trying to tell me forever. Well, you just need to do this. You need to keep your angles in front of you. You need to change it. Stop trying to shape it. Stop trying to do this. I'm like, okay. So I finally get smart in Tulsa. And it
Yeah.
looks good. So when I'm like, okay, well, I need to give this VIP Affliction a little more love and throw it some more. And then I finally start throwing it some more, and I shoot 300 with it again about a week apart from another one last week, 2 weeks ago. So that ball is really good. Even pinned down is really good. I kind of want to drill the other one and go up with it and just to kind of change shapes. But I don't know. That ball's going to be valuable before it's all said and done. So.
See, for a long time, I drilled a lot of stuff pin up. I mean, like I said before, I threw Storm for a long time, so
Yeah.
I was just used to throwing balls pin up. But one of the other staffers in the area, Brett Newman, he told me to drill stuff pinned down. He actually drills most of his motive balls pinned down.
Mhm.
Really?
So I tried some, and I actually found out they shape a little bit more. I don't know why, but it's just, so I'm super up the back. I only have like 8 degrees of tilt.
Uh-huh.
So I'm super up the back, and I need stuff to roll a lot sooner, especially with motive stuff,
Uh-huh.
especially those burls. So I threw like a ripcord velocity pin down, and that ball was awesome. And then like a Jackal Legacy, and that ball shapes a lot more than the pin up did, because I drilled a pin up one and a pin down one. But it seemed like the pin down one shaped a little bit more for me.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where bowling balls are a whole lot stronger than people realize that they actually are, and so sometimes going pin down gets the ball through the fronts a little bit cleaner, so when it does start revving up, instead of hitting the lane and just like churning and going and whatever else, and ultimately using a lot more energy a lot earlier, they can get down the lane a little bit further and then start kind of puts the ball motion in the right spot. So it's kind of an interesting. I mean, it kind of sounds backwards, but you're using several things in kind of cooperation with several other different things at the same time, and so you can have counterintuitive things kind of work out, or that's why it's so tough to it's so tough to explain ball reaction to people sometimes, because it's like, oh, number one, you've got to fight the misconceptions and the kind of prevailing theories about things. One person sometimes said that pin down stuff was earlier and smoother,
It's
in like the 70s, and it just stuck forever. And people still say that.
no, it's definitely longer.
Yeah.
It's definitely, to me, it is. It's definitely longer.
Yeah, it's just
The ball gets like you said, the ball gets through the head, no, the front's so much cleaner. Like everything pinned down for me does.
yeah.
And it just glides through the fronts, and the ball just sits there and revs up, goes long, and it's smooth. It is a smoother reaction. It
Yeah.
really is. But that's just for me. I don't know for you guys, but
No,
like-
that's
I'm like ready to drill more stuff pinned down. Like I'm tempted to get more of each release just to drill one up and down, because my pride is pinned down too, and I need to give it more looks than what I do.
I mean, when you're laying out balls, especially when you have people's pap, you think of the second two angles. You have the pin to pap, and then you have the VAL. Pin to pap
Yeah.
is the one that forces it to hook earlier or later.
Right.
You have a 4-inch pin to pap versus a 5.5-inch pap. That's the one that's going to control the fronts. And the VAL is just how much it's going to flare.
Right. Do you do you have a bunch of stuff pinned down currently?
I did for a long time. I'm starting to do some sub pin up, like the Iron Forges pin up. I drilled a Ripcord Velocity pin up, and that one looks a little bit better. The Affliction I pinned down, Legacy I drilled pin down. I think from February to like August, I drilled a lot of stuff pinned down. Pretty much every release.
So you said up on the velocity. Do you think that, because Luke and I have talked about this, do you think that velocity is kind of like a storm ball with that cover? I love that cover. I do.
Yeah, it's quick enough.
What's cover? We were thinking like phase 3-ish. Did you ever throw phase 3?
Oh yeah, I love that ball.
That's kind of what we were thinking.
it.
Isn't that what you thought too? Phase 3. It gives me phase 3 vibes. It really does.
Yeah, I think the velocity. I mean, it looks to me like it's. I can't tell on the. I think it's just similar, just period.
Yeah.
The phase 3 might be a little cleaner, a little quicker, but it depends on the friction amount too. Because if you get some extra friction, then all of a sudden it gets crazy strong, and that cover is kind of odd. But I mean, at the same time, it depends on what you're bowling on. They're similar.
Give me the Infusion MVP Pearl in the Jackal line, instantly. It's a hit.
You know, I've been talking to Brett a little bit, and he was kind of mentioning something about something like that coming out
Oh yeah.
within the next couple months. I wouldn't be surprised if it is a Jackal Pearl or something.
Yeah. I mean, we got teased something the other day, and it looked pretty boinky.
He always blacks it out.
I
Like,
know
you
he's
so you
being
never
he's
know
being
what it
mean.
actually is.
Yeah.
Like when I think it was was it the Pride or the Iron Forge?
It was the
Okay.
Iron Forge. He did it. We had like the black and white video of the Iron Forge forever, and it's all you can go back to and see is just the Iron Forge in black and white. And we're like, whoa, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
We can't trust anybody to keep their mouths shut, so most of the time we find out when the YouTube video premieres.
That's sad. That's sad. Yeah, give me the Infusion MVP Pearl and the Jackal line, and that will turn some heads because we really struck some gold on that cover. It's about time that we found something that blinks like a storm ball.
Oh yeah. Like I said, on that velocity, it makes it pretty similar to
Yeah, it does.
anything in the Stormlight.
Well, that cover gets through it can dig through oil pretty well considering how shiny it is.
Yeah, that's probably the most similar thing about it. Yeah, it's definitely sharp, but we do have several shiny covers that can really dig at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Most people don't end up liking them that well.
What covers? What do you guys have that's like that digs through the?
The parallax effect is almost difficult to get down the lane because of how strong. Now the parallax was really, really smooth, so it was really early, but then it didn't do a whole lot down lane. Now the parallax effect is both really strong and wants to turn sideways. So.
I'm talking to him.
Oh.
I'm surprised you guys haven't released like a parallax solid yet.
I don't think that they're probably going to do it because the parallax wasn't popular, and the parallax effect I don't think is popular either. And
Well, I saw Darren Tang's video. Apparently, they did some weird drilling on original parallax for him in his practice session where he wore a microphone for one of the PBA events, and it looks stupid. Like
my parallax, whenever there's a bunch of friction,
Yeah.
for some reason it just doesn't burn up. It just keeps walking and walking and walking. But that's kind of one of those examples of people not liking stuff that's actually pretty good. I mean, we just got the Insight discontinued, and it doesn't look good sitting on the shelf. Now it does if you shine it up. But
That's what.
see, I think it looks cool.
So Matt McNeil is in our area. He's actually on my tournament team, so I bowl a lot of tournaments with him.
Yeah.
Him, Eric Vermillier, Dave Langer.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Langer, another motive staffer for a long time.
I didn't realize all those guys lived in that area.
Yeah, Matt McNeil's.
Surprised of how many guys from Minnesota there are.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have the John Cryer Jr. and where's what was I saying? Anyways, Matt was talking to me about he was talking to Carl Feitzek because we bowl Monday nights together in league, and he goes, take that Insight and shine it and put it on the shelf. Then it will look good.
Yeah.
Like before you even drill it.
And I was telling somebody if they would have exchanged the gold in that ball for like the Axiom Pearl Blue or something like that, totally different story. People would have bought all kinds of them. They still might not have liked them, but they would have at least bought more of them. But yeah, the Insight's really, really good. It's just not going to stand out on the shelf. It's not going to pull anybody's attention. I think that's one of the cool things that Motive has going for them that I really do like, and especially the diversity in the pores.
Yeah.
Because I remember we got a batch of we got a couple Zen Masters, and it was exactly the same. The swirling was exactly the same. The colors were in the same place. I mean, every single ball looks the same, which is from a company point of view, that's consistent. But with Motive stuff, you could almost collect different pores.
Yeah.
Like that Fatal. There's some of them I've seen that are almost all silver, some of them that are almost all green, some of them that are swirled, some of them that are kind of blotchy, some of that. I mean, that's interesting to me, just from an aesthetics point of view. And of course, that's one of those things when you are in a pro shop. That's what I had to consider a lot of the time. Like when something comes out, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to order one of these, and then when it sells, I'm never going to order it again. Or I'm never going to put it on the wall again. And then there's some stuff that you just want on the wall 24/7 because it's just people walk in and they see that ball and they go right to it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like, the Pride is probably one of the popular ones right now because of the lion on it. Everyone's kind of drawn toward that.
Which a lot of people make fun of it though.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people make fun of it, but the Pride has actually turned out to be a big hit for us. It really has. Are you guys selling a lot of those?
I sold a lot of them when they originally came out. I probably sold a case within a week of its release. It's a little slowed down now.
I get that, but especially with the Iron Forge coming. Have you got a bunch of pre-orders on those?
Yeah, I probably have a case worth,
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
especially
You guys-
for Black Friday.
Oh yeah. What about the UC3 and Helios?
Helios, yeah, I'll probably still have those.
Yeah,
UC3,
Colin will buy them all.
he goes, I don't know if I want to buy it, and I go, you want to buy it? Trust me.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to buy it?
We're starting to get to have people fire away some questions in the chat here for us. We've got some good ones. So do you care if I hit this one?
Yeah, you can go for it.
All right. So actually, the artist formerly known as Mona Blue is in here, and he's got a good one. Make your own ball, any core with any cover. What are you making?
Oh.
I'll start. I already kind of told you. I will take the Infusion MVP Pearl, or Infusion MVP Pearl cover with Predator V2. That's mine. That's on the Jackal. So that's I just want to see that cover on that ball, which hopefully, Brett, if you're watching, I know you're not, but put that on there.
Yeah.
Carry on. Who wants to go next?
Let's see. I've always said for a long time I want the Phase 3 cover on the IQ core. So
Phase cover on the IQ core.
the Phase 3 cover,
R3S hybrid.
but on something with it because
That'd be pretty good. Yeah.
it's pretty. Sometimes the Phase 3 can be a little bit too much everything.
Yeah.
So with a little bit rollier, lower differential thing. Now I would really just like another Covert Revolt, but
The Covert Revolt. Yeah, I would like to have a Covert Revolt too.
yeah, I actually threw Motive before I signed with Storm, and I took 3 balls. All I needed was the Tribal, Sigmature, Covert Revolt.
Sigmature.
If I couldn't get it done with one of those 3, I was in trouble.
Yeah, they're the one you said though, that would be pretty sick. They really would.
Yeah, I think it'd be.
What are you thinking there, Wild Bill?
I want to do. I'll probably take the Pride Core and an MVP, that Infusion MVP Pearl.
That Infusion is so sick.
That's that. It's just a cover that we haven't seen before in Motive.
Yeah.
The quickest probably
Yeah.
that I've seen. I mean, going back to the Primal Rage, it kind of gives those vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Prime. Gosh, I had 3 of those.
For 3 times. Goodness gracious! Like all at once, or just you had another one and then got another one.
I had one right-handed, and then I had one left-handed, and then I had another one when I went back to right-handed. So, but it was one. It's like, yeah. Whenever I switched, it was definitely like, okay, well, this is number 1. I need this first, and then we'll figure everything else out.
Because you signed right before the Venom Shock came out, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't get to throw a shock.
I'm sorry.
Before, wow.
Right
That's been a
before,
long time
wasn't it?
then.
Yeah,
Like-
2015. I started in 2015. Now we had just come out with the IQ Tornado at that point. So
Yeah, I mean it's still a good ball, but
yeah, that was pretty. Of course, we also came out with the Optimus Solid that year too. So, and I missed because I was Storm only. I just got an amateur, or not even an advisory staff contract. So I was Storm only the first year. So I missed I had to stop throwing my Sinister.
Oh,
I missed the Haywire.
no longer. Did you
The
replace?
Menace, which the Haywire, the Menace, and the Hysteria. I think. I missed the Outcry too. I do have an Outcry now, but
Uproar.
yeah, I missed that one too.
On the,
Or that might have been.
almost, yeah. Or
You couldn't throw Rotogrip at all?
I could not throw Rotogrip. Things have definitely since changed, but yeah, I had an advisory contract that was Storm only, so I couldn't throw
Really?
any Rotogrip stuff.
it kind of surprised me when they took 900 on that they wouldn't have guys just throwing global. Just to
They did for a little bit.
really.
I've been talking
Yes.
with a couple people
Mhm.
about that, and I think until this year.
Hmm.
And the pro staff, or the higher level staff, you have to have at least like 70% of what you're assigned to.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
You
yeah.
can still throw the other stuff, but you can only have like.
You're
9
talking about the
global
national
bags.
staffers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
well,
that just
it has
that's
to be
just for a league
70%.
bag though, right?
well?
Or turn.
Well, no, I think that they have stuff in their contracts. I mean, if they're on with a certain brand, that they they stick us pretty close to it, so I've got to wear, if I am technically under the Storm umbrella, then all of my logos have to be Storm, my bags have to be Storm, my chamois have to be Storm. They aren't, but
See, we can actually wear, See, we can actually wear.
I like the claw
I
chamois.
know. We can actually have turbo bags. There's nothing in our deal that says we have to have turbo bags, like or motive bags.
Yeah.
As
and
long
then-
as it's not another company bag, we can have a K&R bag. We can have turbo bags. We can have Vice bags. We can have, but our bags are tanks.
But yeah,
So-
for the regular staffers, we are 50% of our bag has to be our primary brand by contract anyway. I mean, there's people that there's people that don't read their contract.
You guys have a staff handbook.
We have a 25-page staff handbook that nobody reads a paragraph of. So there's a lot of stuff that they should be doing that they aren't, but I digress.
Don't you have to sign off on the staff book or handbook or something? Or-
No, you sign the contract and the player handbook comes with it, and they do keep track of infractions in your file. But we've got like 800
Do they really?
staffers, so yeah.
Every time somebody tags Brett Spangler, they'd have an infraction.
But yeah, I think it's I think somebody.
Hashtag 179.
Yeah.
I think that.
If you're not a Chipotle fan,
Yeah.
sorry. Carry on.
No, I think that's kind of part of why I know somebody like Simonson will throw anything, but they would rather him throw that 40-year-old grenade than a pitch black, because at least the grenade was a roto grip ball.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, but those guys can literally walk on the truck and grab anything they want.
oh yeah, and I think as long as
That's why I don't understand the whole they got to have this much in their bag. Honestly, if they're winning with one of the brands umbrella or one of the brands under their umbrella,
yeah,
who gives a crap? You know what I
I
mean?
think that's what Brunswick staffers, because I just saw Job Mercier came to the shop this week, and that's what he was talking about. You know, because I talked to him with Storm and how much percentage of how much they have in their bag, but he really just cares about if you're assigned with like Radical, you just have to wear Radical stuff. You can have whatever bags and other stuff and balls. It doesn't really matter.
They can
Of
carry
course he
like
wants
Team
you to
Brunswick
throw the
bags and
Radical
stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
But when it comes down to it, it doesn't have to have a percentage just because they have so many brands. You know,
Do they have to are they specific to their own brand, or can they just throw all 7?
they can throw all 7, but they
Yeah.
only get one. They only get like Radical balls for free, or they get one of each new release or whatever it is.
Yeah, my wife.
And then
would be
after that, it's
pissed.
$55 for any ball.
Gosh, if I was under like a Brunswick umbrella, my wife would just absolutely
You
hate
know
me.
she's listening to this and she's rolling her eyes.
Oh,
I
she-
will kill you.
She would just absolutely hate me. Just-
That's why I keep everything at the shop.
That's a smart man. Yeah, because
We
you're
also live in
recently
an
married, by
apartment.
the way, aren't you?
I just got married in July. Yeah.
Yeah, congrats on that. Is it your funeral or is it your wedding day?
We've been together for 5 years, so
No, I'm good messing with you.
nothing's really changed.
No, I know, I'm messing with you. That's exactly how it was when we got married too. It's just like, oh, it's another day, just special. And then
You know how many times they were like, "There's so many people at the center," and I told my wife this, and I'm like, "Are you sure you want to go with this? You sure?" I'm like, "Yes, yes."
That's awesome.
Our status has just changed. That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
Facebook status.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
It's complicated is exactly right. No, it's all good.
Every
Congratulations
on
on
our
it.
anniversary, we need to do
Thanks.
that. We need to
Yeah.
change our status
Let's
to
say it's
complicated.
complicated, yeah.
That's actually funny. But no, she would. My wife would be so pissed if we were under the Brunswick umbrella, because just if I had 7 brands, I would say, oh, I want that. I want that. The ball may look terrible with spec wise, and I'd still want it.
Yeah.
Just to say I threw it. We got a question in here from Owen. I can't. I'm gonna try and pronounce your last name.
Oh, I'll try.
Okay, yeah, I want Luke to try. Owen, JOHANTGES. I'm assuming something silent in there.
It's Johann something. It depends on the.
Johann, just I don't know.
Yeah.
What's a good ball for
Johanchus.
short patterns and dry
Yeah.
conditions? I think we're all gonna
Depends on
probably
the country of
yeah.
origin.
Yeah. What is the country? Can you use that in a sentence?
yeah.
Oh,
Bracket finals.
Bracket finals? What are those?
He just goes, "Nope."
Nope.
What's a good ball for short patterns and dry conditions? I think we're probably all three going to be on the same page on this. But I'll start since I read the question, I guess. Gives you two a chance to think about your answer. Anything, the unpopular or the popular opinion these days is going to be urethane on short patterns. Or for our dry conditions. Dry conditions. It just depends. That's kind of a bland question. So like,
You talking like
yeah,
short pattern or is it
short
just
pattern,
when it's
just
burned
dry.
up?
Because anything dry, you're usually going to want something either slower, or you're going to want something like. It also depends on your game, like your speed, rev rate, something like a top thrill or a camo hustles.
Oh yeah, I was just waiting my turn.
No, I'm throwing
Yeah.
answers out.
No, I was just gonna.
I'm just saying. I'm
I
just
was
here so I
gonna
don't
say,
get
no,
fined.
the Hustle Camo, and especially Electrify Solid. The Electrify Solid's really chuggy and early and slow for being kind of a lower end.
The camo's the one
ball,
that's like
so-
really strong for the price point, isn't it?
Yes and no.
Or is it the wine?
It's-
One of them, I thought. I don't know.
Probably looks like that because of the brown.
The wrap and the wrap and the PBR are nuts.
That's what I was thinking of.
Nutso insane.
That's
for
what I was
the-
thinking of.
For the price, but yeah, the camo's kind of like I think it's a better ink. The camo is a little bit more controllable. But yeah, the camo, or if you take the shine off of an Electrify Solid, it's early and pretty smooth, and it's almost it's almost bridging the gap between even an IQ Tour and something urethane, something like a pitch black or something. So it is still somewhat strong though. So the short dry stuff is what people have problems with, because there's a certain oil volume that you get to where urethane's just too early.
Yeah.
It just starts up too soon. And some people can get away with it just because it doesn't hook a whole lot, but that doesn't mean that urethane's the best answer for dry lanes.
I don't throw urethane pretty much on anything. I've just never been able to throw urethane, so that's why I really like the microcells.
Virtual high five.
Even though I have a decent amount of revs, but it still doesn't want to. I always think it's more of the down lane,
Yeah.
so I just can't see it correctly. I can use it. I have used it before, but my eyes just aren't prone to looking at the urethane motion.
Yeah, and I think that's
It confuses-
I was in McPherson last week for
With
work,
Riley, right?
and so Riley's got the he's got the tank blitz, he's got the purple tank, he's got that green tank, whatever that one was.
OG tank.
Don't look
Yeah,
at me.
yeah, the tank. Oh,
You're
wait.
texting me.
No.
Okay, good.
You just carry on.
he got the tank, and he just doesn't get the urethane type motion, and right-handed I didn't really get it either, because I like to play a little bit more of the lane and kind of let the ball roll, and
Yeah, unless you can get it to shape, as for me, unless you're like slower and around it,
He gave me the
or like
finger.
higher speed more around it, a lot of revs. It's not beneficial for me. That's why I really like the microcell polymers, Tank Blitz, Cobra Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I always sneak in a video for the Instagram page, and
Luke got-
I always try to catch Luke when he's talking, because there's twice I've caught him talking about pink balls and blue balls. So, like, right on cue, and it was funny because I didn't even try to catch him each time. But the one week I got him on blue balls, and then the second week was pink balls, and it was just I just happened to turn the
You're messing
camera
up
on.
the data.
I know, I
Ugh.
just can't help it. But he just gave me the finger.
Johantes.
Oh, there's a good question for you in here actually, since you switch hands.
Johantes. Yeah, I saw it. There was a guy asking about that. Got himself with a skill saw.
I do want to get a selfie of us before we're done. You want to hop in here so we can get those done? Will smile at the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, we got him not looking.
Yeah.
Try again. You guys failed.
Well,
Come
I mean, he doesn't exactly know which direction to look.
Just look
here.
right at your camera.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think it would have been better if you had taken
Thumbnail,
the
baby.
direction.
Yeah.
It's not gonna tongue wag you.
Well, actually, when he first smiled, it was perfect. I tried to snap it, and it went away.
Slacker.
Because my camera is above my.
Oh, that makes sense. I always do this for the gram. So, so there's a question here about switching hands. Did you see that?
Yeah. I think I answered that.
Okay. What else we got? Here?
Plastic.
Thanks for the whole or all the videos. Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, okay. You answered it in the chat. Seeing why UPS guy shows up with more blowing stuff. She rolls her eyes. Yeah, it's our motive stuff comes from UPS. So I'm literally like a kid in the candy store when new stuff comes out and UPS truck. I see it go by. I'm like, please be for me. Please be for me.
Our
See,
dogs.
I order a bunch of stuff for the shop, so it comes around right before I get in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get a bunch of packages in front of my door, and I'm like, oh, I bet one's for me. Hopefully on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, our dogs actually know the sound of the UPS and FedEx trucks, and so they will start barking before the truck ever pulls into the driveway.
Yeah. It's crazy. Actually.
And yeah, our
keep going.
drivers have got some guns on them now from.
Oh, carrying all the cases and stuff.
Yeah.
Be the UPS guy that's got to carry all the Motive brand ambassador stuff.
Yeah.
He's gonna look like Keith Williams by the time he's done. Oh no, what's going on here? My computer just went down on me. Try later. Hang on. There was Jason Nelson actually said a question. Balls for pattern like today, the Taj Mahal.
Yeah. Again, I'm taking pitch black, fast pitch, UC3, 2 promotions, and the rest doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no.
It just doesn't.
I'm taking a Tank Blitz, Purple Tank, Desert Tank, a Flare, a Pin Down Pride, a Pin Down Ghost, Pin Down Shock. I'm always one that overpacks. I don't know about you, Will, but I always overpack. I'm one of those guys, if I don't have it, I can't throw it. So.
Yep. If I don't have that option in my brain.
Yep.
And in the car.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna go crazy.
Even if I don't bring it in, just leave it in the car. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there.
That's one of those things when people talk about like nationals, arsenals, or something. We drive, so I normally take 11 just to. And it's one of those things. It's like, well, I know I'm not going to use this ball, but if I don't have it, I'm just not going to be.
Right.
It's a weird thing to. It's a weird thing to explain.
There's another good question here. Actually, what would you throw on the Taj Mahal? 38 foot. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. 38 feet. 24.5 mils. One to 3.1. There's 15 forward and 9.5 reverse.
That's gonna be so much fun there.
on wood lanes.
It's synthetic, but it wants to be wood.
There's not a whole lot of buff. The oil. And that's the interesting thing with some patterns too, is that they're technically a certain length, but if they stop like oiling at 25 feet and then buff it an extra 10 feet, that's a whole lot different than oiling it and oiling it further and then the oil, the end of the oil versus the end of the buff. If it's shorter, generally they start out really flippy to begin with and then really slow down because that oil gets carried down. But if you have a longer buff, there is kind of a little bit longer transition area to where it's not.
And they tend to get spotty there too. Like some pair to pair, you'll hit. It's just there's a hang spot and that building's super temperature.
It's virtually a wood house.
Yeah, it's if it's warm outside, they're gonna hook like crazy. If it's cold, they're gonna play stupid tight. And I'd rather them be tighter there than I do hooking. But it's what would you bring on something like that?
It's for like Southern Minnesota, we've been dealing with more like long patterns, more like 42, 43, and then like 30 mils, because they don't want us to either use urethane or loft.
Right.
Yeah.
But something like that, you're just gonna end up lofting. But on something like that, it seems like a higher friction house, especially 24 mils.
Yeah.
Probably gonna bring a covert tank blitz, something that slows down, not too quick on the back end. Maybe I'll throw a big ball in there, maybe like a Jekyll, like a Triton Horizon, because it's more like chuggy.
Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Jackal Ghost.
I have a pin down Ghost and a pin down Shot.
Ghost might be too quick.
Yeah,
It might be too clean and too quick. I'd probably switch it out.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty good on the fresh because that Horizon doesn't really flip too much. It kind of just gets to the fronts and kind of just slows down. I'd choose that.
Over the pin down ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why my Helios isn't going today. It's just going to be way too much.
Okay, Amanda, if you're watching,
Yeah.
I know you were at home getting stuff ready. Abort mission on the pin down ghost. Please put in the horizon. Carry on with your day.
Her reaction in the chat.
Did you see her? No,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. No, thank you. On when I was talking about all the B7 stuff, like if I had 7 brands of options to throw, oh, my house would be nothing but bowling balls.
Yeah,
There's a good question for you guys. Are pro shop guys. So recently got a new high road, but my pro shop guy drilled it quite different from the rest of my balls, and now it doesn't flare at all and rolls right over my finger hole. Is that normal?
No.
Uh-uh.
It's not supposed to do that. Now, with asymmetric stuff, normally that's more of a concern for asymmetric stuff. Is if you don't drill it right, it's gonna do all kinds of wonky things. Symmetric balls, I don't normally have those kind of concerns with it, but depending on how wild it is, I mean, if he drilled it, if you're not a full roller and he drilled it full roller, then yeah, that would be it would start thumping over some.
Seems like if it doesn't flare at all, it might be a pin might be too far away from his pap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually when that happens, I usually just put the pin closer, and then that it gets those flare lines farther left away from the fingers.
Yeah, if you do have
Riley.
a higher track, putting a
I think if it's
little bit stronger pin gets it flaring away from that pretty quick.
Colin says, "Guys, make fun of me. Tournament is tomorrow, not today. I'm done."
Yeah. Colin got all amped up for the tournament today.
All of his all roads. Yes, he always overpacks.
Yeah.
I'm reading her. She's in the chat just roasting me. Red square is only oiled the 23. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see if we have. If there's any more questions, we can. One guess on what pack he throws today. Oh, purple hammer.
plastic ball.
Yeah, plastic ball. No,
Yeah,
he'll throw purple.
The crown jewel.
Yeah. Packy's is his 1970s Kmart plastic ball.
The rubber one.
The tornado twist, that green tornado twist or whatever the crap that thing is, or the ball from the 1930s that he drilled for that video the other day. But no, it's just the left side of the lane is so insanely different. And that's what's frying me out right now because my rev rate's gone up and my speed has gone up, and now I used to be able to just kind of flop it right down the side and let it go, and now it's everything wants to start a little bit too soon, or it's just everything's sharper on the left side. There's no track, and so it's almost like drilling something pin down versus having something pin up, but also bowling in a phone booth.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's just because there's no track, so the ball wants to just go extra far and then turn sideways.
Right.
And so we have to do everything that we can we don't have any help with blend, so we have to blend everything out. Now, sharper back ends sounds pretty fun until you realize that, sometimes on the right side you get that one that you tug that just kind of sits there.
And just skates in
It's
E2A10?
a big 4, a 6 pin or something at least on the
I run into
on the left side.
I run into it skating in the I2A10.
Now I don't leave anywhere near the amount of 7 pins that I used to leave. I mean, 10 pins are kind of a way of life for righties, but
Yeah,
we
you haven't been leaving as many 7 pins. I've
we-
noticed that.
we just don't leave that many
Yeah.
corner pins because there's enough tip and there's enough back in. I mean, if you leave a 7 pin on the left side, it's a bad shot normally. We get very few flat 7s, very few wrap 7s, just because there's enough ball motion. I tend to get anyway the stuff kind of in the middle.
Right.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So switching from right-handed to left-handed, do you follow the stigma of always going to urethane when it gets harder, or kind of like sticking with it more?
You're kind of
reactive
on tough stuff. Yes, I haven't gotten into it yet on the house shots because I do, again, I like stuff like the ProMotion, which is kind of urethane without being urethane. and I might start taking the UC3 out and seeing if that works, because it's also urethane that's not really urethane, but you're kind of trapped into it, especially on tougher stuff, especially because the lanes don't ever open up. You've got, it's always tighter in the middle, unless they kind of build the pattern asymmetrically. Sometimes you can get away with some stuff. But if it has to be chuggy, early, slow too, it has to be reactive urethane, basically. Like I've got that Axiom that came at like 370 grit
Oh yeah.
or whatever,
That's right.
at a super dumb chalky, but
Like
it's
Angel's
just,
IQ Tour.
yeah, it's basically reactive urethane, but it's, the left side of the lane is 95% shape management. It's not, you don't want to ever create shape, because there's always more shape than you know what to do with. I mean, that's why, somebody like Buttriff can bend a black hammer from third or fourth arrow or whatever,
Yeah.
and why all his reactive stuff, and that even turns sideways. I mean, if he can throw a black hammer from third or fourth arrow and get it to turn sideways, all of his reactive stuff is short pins. Purple hammer for lefties looks like a reactive ball for righties.
Yeah.
It's just it's not an abundance of shape really, it's just it's not an abundance of hook, it's an abundance of shape.
Yeah.
There's just so much free ball motion that you kind of have to manage it, and you can't really, again, because when you start getting inside, then all of a sudden you don't have the help from the track area. There's no transition, there is no track area. And so it's one of those, if you get it going too far left too quick, it just kind of spins and it'll never make it back. And if you try to shim it, or you try to push it, or you try to shove it or whatever, it'll never get there.
Right.
It just never, as soon as it starts sniffing friction around 35 feet, it just stops and goes. So you kind of have to play the straight up game of trapping it. You blend it and trap it, and nothing does that better than urethane. So it's not that lefties want to use urethane. Ilpad, one of the guys in our Discord group up in Oregon, he's got a buddy that bulls a lot of regionals and whatever up there, and he's just trapped in throwing 500 grit urethane all the time. It's lefties don't really want to do it. I don't like throwing urethane all the time. I like to throw some exciting stuff, and especially on top of that, because people have such an issue with it. It's like, oh yeah, well, lefties, Jacob Buttriff's only good because of the purple hammer, and Jesper Svensson wouldn't have any wins if he didn't have the pitch black and whatever else. It's like, it's not like we want to throw that stuff. It's just because
looks good.
Yeah, and like you said, on the right side of the lane, urethane was last ditch. I'm already out of it, and there's no point in, if the time came for me to throw urethane, I'd already be so far out of it, there wouldn't be any reason to even switch to it. And so it was a very, very low use, once a year on the Nationals team pattern type of thing. Yeah.
That seems about the only time I ever throw Swiss trios.
Yeah,
or something that's super flat.
Yeah,
I really like to throw urethane on flat.
Yeah, something that's super flat and super short, but everything feels flat on the left side. Now there are some times where it is kind of wide open. North Rock in Wichita is pretty wide open because you have hole in the middle. If there's ever any kind of hole in the middle, that's most of the time lefties are used to staying on top of it, and above all trying to hit what they're aiming at. And if you do give them a little bit of room, then yeah, it's just, you're not gonna, and it's never gonna, if they have a little bit of room, there's no transition, you're just not gonna beat them.
Especially when they can throw purple hammers.
Yeah. But
I'm sorry.
on the other side of the spectrum, you're either going to have a big day or completely locked out. You don't really...
Like, we're going to get ran over by Packy today. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, why bowl then?
No, I'm serious. He's probably going to, 6-game block, he's probably going to go 400 over.
Well, and at Royal Crest, too, when they had that on the house shot, and then that's when Packy shot 8, or what did he shoot? He shot 1189 for a 4-game sweeper. There's a tournament here in that's in Wichita.
Oh yeah.
That runs Southwest that runs from February through April or something like that.
The night before the Southwest tournament.
Yeah, the night before, on Friday night, every weekend before the tournament, they have a 4-game sweeper. Well, Packy used to go obliterate the thing every single week. And then, yeah, there was one time he went 289, 300, 300, 300 at this sweeper. And it's one of those things where, yeah, if you get a little bit of room, I mean, it's just a done deal.
I mean,
Over.
Brent Bowers is averaging 260 in that place.
Yeah, well, he kind of does the same thing. He kind of launches it and traps it, but he's
Yeah.
also,
I was watching. I actually went back and watched that video. He did the Pro versus House Joe or something like that, and literally all he does is take an Axiom Pearl, stands right,
Pipe
points
it.
his feet at the pocket, and just throws it hard and walks it.
yeah.
Not
So-
walks it, but just kind
Isn't he
of
the guy that
rock
shot
it.
80?
Yeah, 899.
of that?
Yeah.
Rock it to the pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the GM of North
North
Rock down there. And
okay.
that's also a funny story because Brent is,
Riley must be here.
Brent he's very professional. He's the clean cut, the little bit of a
Comb over.
Yeah, it's not really a comb over. He's
Like,
just, I don't know.
I'm
what
just
the-
waiting for. I want
I don't
to
know
see
what
how you
else to call
specify
it,
this.
but he's always really sharply dressed and presents himself well and acts like he's a
Yeah.
kind of the
Yeah.
prototypical GM, business owner, manager, whatever else. But when you see him flip that switch for his action bowling stuff, we have a Swiss Trios here.
You should travel out to bowl sometime. By the way, it's a great
Yeah,
tournament.
that's a big. We get a bunch of
You get all the people. A lot of the PBA guys come out for
Everybody.
that. It's huge.
everybody makes it out for that.
It's 2 days in Wichita and North Rock.
But yeah, he was a couple of years ago. Him and Nick Pate had been going at each other for a couple games towards the end of the last day, and then they decided to bowl some action stuff afterwards. The first game, they bowled for $500. Nick won. The second game, they bowled for $1,500, and Nick won that again. And so Brent's still talking at him, and Anthony Lockwood was sitting next to me. And Nick didn't even want to bowl the first game, and so he's like, okay, we bowled the game. You talked me into the second one. I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever else, I'm done. And my buddy's sitting there like, they'll bowl another game. Brent's pretty good at this. They'll bowl another game.
Brent will chirp at you and to get you like he's got a sales
Yeah.
pitch mentality.
Yeah. So they end up bowling the third game, but Brent was like, okay, well, let's bowl the last one for $2,000. At least give me a chance to win my money back. No harm, no foul. And Nick's like, no, I just don't want to do it. And so eventually Brent settled on $1,200.
Yeah.
So at least that way Nick leaves with something, even if he loses. Brent ends up losing again. And so as he's walking away to get Nick's $3,200, he turns around and he starts clapping at it. He's like, hey, you know what? Great decision not bowling for that $2,000 that last game. That really worked out well for you. So,
That's good stuff.
yeah, so I mean, you lose $3,200 and you're still talking trash. So yeah, it's a different
Still
animal.
gotta have your
It's so
dignity at
funny,
that
but
point.
yeah.
Yeah, you still got to fire back there.
But there was also one time where AJ Chapman ended up paying Brent's car payment for the last 6 months of it because Brent took so much of his money, and it was like a BMW or an Audi or something
On
like
AJ
that
Chapman?
too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I actually have a question for you.
yeah.
Well, you might have touched on this already, but since you've made this switch, just because a lot of people know this, or a lot of people may not know this, but what is your biggest hurdle since going from right to left? And then we have a good question in the chat for you as well.
Trying to not do too much.
Overthinking? Or?
Will, especially, from the pro shop world where, yeah, you've got to know the tech. You got to understand cover formulas. You got to understand the cores, the numbers, layouts, whatever else. And it's hard to process all that to be able to help somebody else without letting it go too far into kind of your own thing where you're just thinking about, you need to be able to turn the pro shop brain off and turn the bowling brain on and like, okay, well, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna throw this ball, and if it strikes, I'm gonna keep throwing it here. If it doesn't strike, well, then I'm gonna move or something else, instead of thinking, okay, well, I've got this ball, it's got this RG, it's got this cover on it, so it's gonna be a little bit cleaner, which it does kind of help, but there's too far to go any one direction. Like I take certain covers because I know that they're either they're either blendier or they're sharper or they're a little cleaner or whatever else, but you can get too far into bowling math and say, okay, well, this should work here. It's like, well, no, it should or shouldn't or whatever else. All that matters is what is actually going on right now and what's actually happening, and it may not be the same as even the last time you bowled there. There's a house here in Kansas City that they can put the same pattern down and it'll play. We've had chromium there like 3 or 4 times in the last couple of years. It plays
totally different.
Plays different every single
time.
time, and so there's no kind of.
Yep.
You have to go in with an open mind, look at the ball reaction, read the ball reaction, and just kind of go from there. So I tend to kind of overcomplicate things a little bit, and when I was still working on the coordination, I just kind of tried. I'm just gonna hit the pocket and keep myself out of trouble, while I'm still working on this. Well, once I've gotten kind of the strength and coordination, now I'm trying to execute.
Yeah.
And it's completely just mucked everything up. Plus, I've got my rev rate's higher, my speed's higher, and then the left side of the lane is so different from the right side of the lane that I'm in a pretty bad spot right now. I'll probably be okay when I can throw urethane today and just kind of trap it in front of me, but
I don't know if we've ever really touched on that, just that question, so I just wanted to ask you that.
yeah.
We got a guy asking a UC3 questions. We were talking new balls earlier, so I got a question for you. Good morning, gents. Related to UC3, thoughts on urethane and plastics paired with big cores and how UC3 differs from the other urethane big core pairings in the past. You're both pro shop guys, so you guys can answer this. Will's may not be able to answer as easily as you, but
No, I think
I can.
Yeah. What do you think there? We'll let.
perhaps another beer, will you?
Yeah.
Let's
try this one.
It's actually a pretty good question.
Going back to let's say a hot cell.
Yeah.
That was kind of the same idea.
Gross.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That core was so big, it wasn't really meant for a urethane cover.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Party foul.
No, sorry, keep talking. I'm opening a beer and decided to put it on myself.
Too much beer, you already got to get.
No, it's that I've been trying to open it with this. This can be difficult. I have little hands.
I haven't had any. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, going back to the hot cell, like that was kind of the same idea. So they kind of wanted to, because the Purple Hammer was still out at that time, wasn't it?
I think so.
Or was the Purple Hammer even a thing?
I can't remember. I think the hot cell was 2016. It's weird because sometimes a ball feels like it's been a decade ago and it was like 3 years ago. And other stuff, it's like, gosh, that's been discontinued for 5 years now. But yeah, I think it was 2016, 2017 because I was far enough along in the YouTube thing. Kevin Andrews was working at Westridge, so whenever that. So yeah, it's only been a couple of years.
Just laughing. Good thing I'm not wearing this jersey today.
4 or 5 years.
Because like that, the UC3. That's kind of what we were talking about this a little bit. The UC3 is kind of a play on of try to, or Storm's try on of Purple Hammer. Trying to get that motion off the spot with Rubicon core, and putting just a urethane cover over it to make it actually hook on the back end. The pitch black and the fast pitch are, pretty clean and quick. And then you have some a little bit rollier in an ASIM core like the Rubicon to get it to hook in the front part of the lane, but also flip on the back.
I would definitely say that the UC3 is the closest thing that they've got or have come to the Purple Hammer. It looks pretty good. I think it's going to be unique in its own way.
Yeah, they were telling us that they weren't trying to copy the Purple Hammer. I think they've tried doing that and it didn't.
Were they trying to convince themselves of that, or
it didn't work out? Now I think ultimately this ended up being, I don't know, really what the Purple Hammer is still longer, and I think even a little bit quicker. This is the UC3 is kind of like an Omega Crux or an Insight almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what was the question again?
Sorry, I can go back up and read
Something
it.
about stronger core. Well, and then you have something like the Black Widow urethane.
Give me to reread it. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, good morning, gents. Related to UC3, thoughts on urethane and plastics paired with big cores and how UC3 differs from the other urethane big core pairings in the past.
Well, what kind of cores I know that, Motive doesn't necessarily have urethane. It's kind of.
We do now.
It's microcell.
No, we have urethane now. Purple
Okay.
tank.
So, yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh,
But
like
they've
this?
done a lot of the microcell stuff, which is kind of urethane without being urethane.
which one of the biggest things of all time, or rip-offs of all time, is taking away the tank blitz. I never realized how good that was until I threw it. The ball's.
Or just even getting rid of that line.
Yeah.
The way that I explained it to many people was you look at it front to back, it's like a urethane. Right to left, it's more like reactive.
100%. I agree with
And
that.
then
100%.
everyone's like, oh, but it's urethane? No,
the
not at
desert
all.
was just
I could
weird.
throw a tank blitz on 20 or 25 and still shape the lane.
Yeah. The desert was just weird though. I don't know. To me, it's just not my. It's not. I'm not a fan, and it may just be my speed and rev rate. But the tank blitz,
It's super rolly.
the tank blitz, I love it.
Mhm.
I'll throw that anytime I get a chance to throw it. I'm actually getting ready to I'm going to put 1,000 on it before I leave. So
Yeah. Might actually have to break out those new diamond dust pads.
yeah, I need to. And I just want to put some fresh surface, especially if we're going to go play on a place that blinks, so I can slow it down a little bit. That's the other thing, the misconception on what surface does to bowling balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have urethane now, so I'm sure we're going to come out with some more microcell stuff at some point. But
I hope so. Well, the flare has a little bit of microcell in it.
yes, it does. That just doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It's getting hit with some fresh surface today.
Yeah. But I think something like the Black Widow urethane looks pretty good too, but it's kind of wild when you go asymmetric urethane, because urethane's already early and slow, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the point, and it's kind of the point of having urethane as the lower flaring cores, so that it picks up early and then walks in. Having urethane that's chewy, and then putting an asymmetric core in it to where it just chews. You still got to get some oil on the cover, but it can kind of make it weird. And the hot cell was weird. It was either way too strong, it was way too early and did absolutely nothing on the back end. It
Right.
just didn't work out for that ball. And I think it works out. It worked out for the Black Widow urethane. I think it really works out for the UC3. But that's the other thing too, is that people don't understand that urethane doesn't cause carry down. Urethane balls cause carry down because they're low flaring and they continue to roll over the same oil tracks all the way down the lane. And urethane doesn't absorb, but I mean, even reactive balls don't absorb it fast enough to where they pick it up and then all of a sudden sucks right into the ball and won't ever
Yep.
dump any on the back end. Something that's higher flaring, even if it's a very low or non-existent absorption rate, isn't going to carry down near like something that's lower flaring. So
That's why I think that this one's going to be different for people. I mean, people like me that have like a higher track but still decent amount of rev rate and have trouble getting original urethane to turn the corner. You can actually get this ball to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
It does. It's kind of right. It does kind of split that little gap, kind of very weirdly.
Yeah. It looks. I mean, we're talking about the UC3, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
say it's a staffer's wet dream to describe, because it literally does all
God.
the staffer cliches.
Do you guys have a storm staff page or like a
Staff group,
yeah?
Unfortunately,
Don't get him started on that. It's nothing like ours.
Ours is
We
half,
have
like-
some winners, but that one's pretty good.
Ours is half like Ball Talk, New Balls, Brett, and Chipotle.
Chipotle. Yeah.
we do have a special barbecue page
Yeah.
now.
Oh, really?
So,
Barbecue page.
Yeah, we have a staffer only barbecue page where. So
I
yeah,
love
the
that.
barbecue insiders, so we can
Oh.
share our barbecue tips, which I think it's a
wish we had that.
fantastic idea, because we have way too many people that self promote and ask dumb questions that either could have been sent to. I'm sure that you have people that just post questions in the staff group. It's like, okay, send Brett a message, email someone.
Yeah.
Don't put it here. This is stupid. It's clogging something up. It just.
Every once in a while, we get some of those. It's like when Brett sends an email and somebody replies all.
And then someone sends on the staff page, we have a reply all, folks.
Yes, we have
Yeah.
automatically.
Oh, man.
We have somebody posted the staff rules.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Donovan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he always posts the staff rules, and it's funny.
Yeah.
I'll have to show it to you. It's pretty funny. But we literally have Qdoba versus Chipotle debates. What's better? You got
Chipotle.
ball question or ball talk. Chipotle? Yeah,
Chipotle.
I like them both. I'm not
Angel
No.
knows.
not here to judge. I like them.
won't eat.
Ball talk, and then it's just kind of whatever else. People posting scores, or nothing drives me nuts more though than somebody trying to advertise their own YouTube page in a staff group.
Yeah.
Drives me
Oh,
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
it's
we're not.
like-
You just want to tap yourself on the back some more for something. We're not. We're all here to do the same thing.
It's more, don't market to us because we already have the balls.
Yeah. We already know about
already
this
have
stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch your ball
Send it to
reaction.
the other
because
people.
I can see
Send
it for
to the people
myself.
that actually want to buy it.
Yes, share it to stuff like
Your page?
your Facebook, your personal Facebook page. Lou Napolis, he's got a YouTube page that you can share too. Motive pages. It's just all kinds of stuff. I literally, when I do a ball review, I'll post or a ball motion video. I'll post to Lou's page, my personal Motive Bowling Balls Exchange, Motive Bowling Balls. There's all kinds of pages out there. That's where that stuff should be shared. So
Yeah. I mean, we've got people that'll post their videos on, and they have decided, the people in the group, not the company. They're like, oh, well, we all ought to subscribe to each other's YouTube channels so that we can support each other and whatever. It's like, that's not the point.
No.
We had somebody the other day that posted they shot 307.40 with something and posted a picture of himself in the staff group. Wasn't wearing any branding whatsoever.
not even a patch.
Posted it, no.
Huh.
Didn't have a patch. Didn't even have the shirt under his jacket that he was wearing while he was bowling was not even a storm shirt.
Dude.
He posted it in the staff group, not on his own page. So he just dropped a fig jam in the staff group, not having any branding on or anything,
Oh.
and was all excited about it.
Big jam.
So
Was that his first 300?
no.
I'd hope
I don't
not.
think so. He only had a couple of them, but
Still though.
I'd
That's
hope.
bad.
I'd hope not.
yeah,
That's
and
bad.
we have stuff like that happens all the time. They'll post stuff in the staff group, and then they won't post it to their own personal pages. Then we had somebody else that asked, okay, well, I don't have the Helios. I haven't gotten my Helios yet. We've had some production shipping backups, and so somebody said, okay, well, so for everybody that has the Helios already, how does it compare to the Idol? And somebody got in there and said in all caps, much, much better.
That's all it was.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Good stuff.
Like, that's helpful. How does it
Thanks.
compare? Well, it's much better.
Thanks.
I would have just responded and said,
Next.
"Sweet."
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
Does
like they post on their YouTube channel, original Island versus Helios,
Yeah.
and then it's just a black screen that said much, much better. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the video.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like
that's-
3 seconds.
I
don't
actually
even
did
need to
that.
show it.
I did the. I made a UC3 versus Pitch Black video, and I had this little spiel in there where I gave a typical staffer review of it,
Yeah.
and I did the epic movie voice,
Oh, that was great. That
but
was good stuff.
badly.
Epic movie.
I had to do that, but it was
Will needs to go back and watch that. 'Cause
it had to
was
be
great.
a
I have to
knockoff.
watch it now.
You sounded like what's that guy's name? That does the voice for all the movies. Like, stay tuned.
In a world.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
that. But I mucked it up a little bit. I
What
had
is-
to do it a
What
little.
is his name?
I
Because
don't
he
know.
does everything.
I did it a little
Can't remember.
campy
Yeah,
and
he literally does.
Yeah.
Like he
that
does stuff for
a lot of different
WWE. He
companies.
does stuff for movies. Like that guy makes so much money just off his voice. And when he dies, where are they gonna go?
Yeah. Well, and I put some epic music to it and everything. I went full on. This ball is awesome. It was made with the sweat of Tom Brady and whatever keeps Betty White alive. And yeah,
I heard
just-
that.
I went so far overboard with it, but yeah, it's the typical. It clears the fronts and controls the mid lane and still is continuous on the back and all that. I just went kind of overboard with it. But I mean, and again, being in a pro shop is a little touch and go because you got to sell everything. And there's some guys that just push their brand regardless, and other people, it's like, I think when the Venom Shot came out, there's some certain balls that's just like, yeah, we don't have one of those, so you probably ought to buy one. If somebody comes in
You're
describing
talking about
us
the
as-
most underrated ball of all time?
yeah, the most underrated ball of all
It's a
time.
joke. Please don't take me serious. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it's
I'll
one of those
explain that
things
later.
where we've got
You better.
staffer people kind of drive me insane, especially from now that we have global in there. We got like 40 balls in the catalog. You don't have to push something just because it's new. You can both sell equipment and get somebody into some. That's why we have so many different options.
Right.
Yeah.
You can sell equipment, but you can also help somebody find what they want or need at the same time.
The tiny whisper about the Zen Master had me rolling.
Uh huh.
Except for me part. You have to go back and watch that because it's actually pretty funny.
I have to watch
It killed me. I watched it at work while I was on lunch, and I thought I was going to fall out of my chair. Just because I
Alright.
could see Luke sitting in front of his little microphone doing that.
What you got?
So, what ball did you drill that you didn't like at first, but now you can't keep it out of your bag?
That's a good one.
Ooh, yeah, that's good stuff.
The one, I don't think I've had one of those for a while, but when the Idle Pearl came out, it was the worst ball I'd ever thrown.
Never done it.
I mean, hands down, it almost tried. It was worse than the Zen Master.
I'm thinking.
It stood up on, as soon as it hit friction, it automatically stood up, straightened out, almost tried to roll backwards. I didn't understand it, and everybody else, like my wife's, looked stupid. And I keep seeing everybody else like this ball, and I'm like, well, mine doesn't do anywhere close to that. And it was just my standard pin-up layout, whatever else. And I'm like, you know what? It's really sharp. It's kind of given up. It looked good for everybody else. And so I drilled one pin down, and was one of the best balls. You know, I've got one on the shelf, and obviously as a staffer, stuff just works its way out of your bag, even if it's good. It's really hard for anything to have any kind of staying power because, I mean, you saw the basement here. I've got, probably 40 drilled balls laying around here, plus a bunch of undrilled stuff that I'd really like to drill, and stuff just eventually works its way out of the bag.
I mean,
For
you can only go a matter of like 100 feet to just drill it.
yeah, but yeah, the Idle Pearl was the one where it was garbage. I put a different layout on it, and it didn't leave the bag for 2 solid years.
Yep.
So
Idle Pearl, huh? What about you? Unless you want me to go first and you answer last.
It doesn't matter. You can go first.
Does drilling
You're gonna
count?
laugh at mine.
Does the drilling count on it? Even
Yeah.
though I like the ball?
let me see.
I mean, Luke kind of just said that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was a pin down ghost. Like Luke, I'm convinced you've got to drill a pin down ghost. It'll look silly. And I throw it the first couple times, and I'm like, this ball's terrible. It's terrible. And finally, I convinced myself to throw it one night at League at Gage, actually the place we're going to go bowl today. And first game with it, I shoot 300. So I'm like, okay, maybe this needs to get a look. Now it's always got that in the back of my mind. Do I need to take this ball? You know what I mean?
I do have a recent one.
It would never go with me though, ever.
I knew there was something, and I think that's
That pin down ghost. You're like a ghost in general.
Yeah. No, just the pin down ghost. I love the ghost. That ball's like goat status in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's fairly common to like, oh, this one sucked with this layout, and then you try a different layout. But mine was the IQ Tornado Pearl. When
What?
it came out, it was so boinky.
That ball's silly.
Yeah, it looked great,
I don't like it either.
but it would not carry. It was just a bunch. When I drilled it, it was fresh. It was strong. A bunch of shape I'd never seen out of an IQ Tour before, and it just flew. And I remember I took it out several times, and it just could not. I mean, it was just 9-count city. It's not like it was like I couldn't get it to the pocket. Oh, I could get it to the pocket, but it was lefty 4-9s. I'm still not good on I just say it's a 4-pin on the other side.
It's like say it.
Yeah,
Or it's a 4-9 on the other side. So I haven't
Take a
got
4-9
to it.
and
10
flip
on
it.
the other side.
Wow, somebody just
Yeah.
said virtual gravity.
So a
Wow.
6.9
Oh, silly.
drive-by 8-pin, high flush 10s, stuff like this, and the night I shot 300 with it was the night. It was the last. I'm like, I'm taking this out one more time because I'd fought with it for a month and a half, and I said, this is the last time. If I don't do good with it tonight, I'm never throwing it again. And then yeah, it got in the bag and it stayed there for a while. I didn't change anything, but just get some games on it.
Now it's disco.
So I mean, it's kind of easy to just this doesn't really work out for me. I'll drill another one with a different layout and then like it. But have something you don't really like and you kind of stick with it, and then yeah, it ended up sticking around for a while.
So have you ever drilled anything 2LS? Oh, actually, you didn't answer your question. You didn't answer it yet, did you?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You said we're gonna laugh. I want to hear this.
yours? Venom
Well,
shock.
Two things then.
It wasn't.
I hated the ghosts. Absolutely hated the ghosts when I first drilled it.
What?
Yeah, I know that's shocking because now you see my Facebook and they literally throw it on everything.
Me too.
I just didn't understand it. Like, it's probably the closest ball to a storm ball that there is from Motive.
Oh yeah, like I can agree with that 100%.
Like clean and quick ASIM doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But especially when I can move farther left, like when I used to throw an IQ tour and kind of like shove the lane a little bit like I did in college.
Yeah.
I'd do that with a ghost, and I didn't know it did that. So once I found that area, I throw it on everything.
It's silly. That ball is definitely one of the best ASIM solid bowling balls made of all time. All companies wide.
Longest running ASIM too.
And it is definitely the longest running asymmetrical bowling ball in the world. What was the other one? You said there was two.
Okay, well, I don't like the motion of the Venom Shock.
Oh my gosh.
I will go to my grave saying I hate the motion, but it works on everything.
It does.
I don't get it. It works on everything.
Yeah.
You could literally throw it on anything.
Like, I get that ball to hook a lot sooner than like a Jacko Legacy.
And to me, I think the Jackal Legacy is just garbage. I don't like that cover. I really don't.
I've started to like it more when I drill it pin down. It comes in the bag, but it doesn't really come out often.
Yes, it's okay for a staff player to not think a bowling ball is good, right?
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, it's definitely not.
Okay, then I hate pins.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The Jackal Legacy, I think I threw it for. I think I had one good tournament with it where I was actually able to throw it for about 4 or 5 games in an 8-game block, and then since that tournament, I haven't touched.
It's a situational ball. You find
Very
those balls
much
where
so. Like I was thinking about
gonna
taking
be
it
like,
today, but
I can't throw it on most things, but if I need it at a certain point, like I'm going to a tournament and you know that you're going to use it,
Yeah.
you're going to want it.
Do you keep surface on
That's
it?
why you don't get it out. It's like out of your bag, but
Yeah.
it's not out of your bag.
Do you keep surface on it?
Yeah, I don't put a lot of like low surface on it.
Yeah.
So I usually put like 2,000 or maybe 3,000 most
Right.
of the time, probably 3,000.
That's probably my problem. I probably should keep surface on it. Like they say, the ghosts, the more you keep surface on them, the better they are. They'll stay. They're okay with lane shine, but they like surface better than they do lane
Yep.
shine. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
That's what I've heard.
Yep.
And to me, I've kind of found success if I keep a little bit of surface on it, because it gets, to me, with the lane shine, it gets quicker.
Yep.
So, which
Yeah.
makes me feel even more dumb because I haven't hit surface with it in about a couple weeks. So.
Do you surface any pearl balls?
I always take the shine off anything pearl, unless I'm doing the video first. So the Iron Forge, I literally had it put holes were put in it, and before I even threw it, I hit it with 3,000.
I have only recently started doing that because it seems like I don't know if this is an all companies thing, which I imagine it probably is. Our stuff has gotten really, really glossy. Like it used to
noticed
be. It used to be shiny, but now the stuff is like mirror, super gloss. And I normally prefer to.
Saw that.
So one thing with ball reviews is that you've kind of got to show the way that the ball comes out of the box, because that's how 95% of people are going to throw it. So you kind of have to show it out of the box, and I normally bowl about 10 games with stuff during filming and then practice with a little bit extra. So by the time I get done filming and kind of doing some other things and maybe some side videos and whatever else, it gets broken in by then anyway, so I don't really have to do anything with it. But if doing the videos wasn't a consideration, yeah, I'd knock the shine off of everything instantly. I just take it to like 3,000 and let it lane shine.
I just
Because
don't,
the gloss
yeah.
is kind of harsh.
I just don't like
now.
that shine. The shine is just, especially motive bowling balls. Everything comes out so shiny.
Well, the
It's
thing is it's technically surface. There's no polish. It's 5500.
right.
Yeah.
So it's technically a surface ball, but it's at a grit where it looks glossy. Because like
Yeah.
if you spin a 4000 or even a 3000, it's
Yeah.
gonna be kind of shiny.
Yeah, that's why I tell most people when they're asking about knocking the shine off, well, should I go 3,000 or 4,000? I'm like, if you do 4,000, especially if it's on a spinner with water or even on a resurfacing machine, it's not gonna. It's just 4,000's not 4,000's like a finishing grit for something. For if you started
Yeah.
at like 500,
Mhm.
1,000, it's more of a finishing grit rather than polishing it. It's not necessarily a grit to take polish off. It's just especially the hard gloss, the hard factory gloss. It's not just not going to touch
That's
it.
a big reason I always go to like 3,000. So 3,000 is probably around the. If you're wanting to knock shine off something, 3,000 is around the number you're looking for.
Yep.
So.
We kind of
Usually
just use
3,000,
the
yeah.
Reacta stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
Reacta scuff. The Storm Reacta scuff's good.
Reacta
yeah.
scuff works too. Normally, if it's a new ball, I will hit it with a pad. If it's something that's gotten lane shined, I want to take it back off. Normally, the Reacta scuff helps a little bit with it.
Yeah.
Just cleans it and takes it to about 3,000.
Yeah.
3,000 and 4,000 I call shape grits, and anything under that or traction grits.
Yeah.
So you're looking to just adjust shape. Anything higher than that, but yeah, 5,500. Yeah, there's not polish there. It's just a little bit of water. If it's water and 5,500 grit, yeah, it's going to be shiny.
Yeah. Do you keep shine on your stuff, or do you take like when you first get, say, the Iron Forge, when you got it, what'd you do?
I just kept it.
Really? Have you hit any surface with it yet?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Well,
Well, apparently that's the way to go.
also-
You shoot like 890.
Well, in his center anyway.
No, I know. I'm messing with him. That's all it is. I just
Don't do that.
No, I
gauge.
kept it. I kept it out of boxes when I threw it the first couple shots. I always want to see what it does first before I
Right.
make any adjustments.
yeah. I
So-
always leave I usually leave the shine on anyways before I do my video, but the last few times I've left shine on, it's just the ball looks terrible, so I take it off. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so like I threw that for a while, and then I kind of wanted to see if I take it like down to 500, 1,500 and polish it
Yeah.
to see if that would be better. And it just went too forward, just because of that core, just
Yeah.
goes too forward. So then I put it just back on the 3,000, and then I shot 848 with it.
Yeah.
What a
And then
monster.
794 yesterday, and I went to 10 pin.
Yeah, I did see
Great.
that.
You're my hero.
God, I want.
I missed
What?
once on the right lane, and that was the 299. Otherwise, all the other misses were on the left lane.
Oh wow. That
Hi.
that helps out.
Yeah. Must be nice.
I once chopped right-handed. I chopped the 10 off of the 610 for $7.99. All
No,
I
you
Like the
needed,
didn't.
last frame.
Are you
yes, it was
serious?
the last frame
Oh.
because I needed the first one in the 10th, and then 9 spare or 9 out or whatever. Because I was on kind of a string. I needed the first one in the 10th. Well, then I left the 610 on the second ball, and I'm like, oh
You
great,
chop the what off?
the 10 off of the 6. I
Burn.
picked up the 10.
I would have fried the heck out. Like,
Well, and I even started, I think my problem was I stopped and did the math because I looked at it and I knew it was close. I knew I needed the first one in the 10th, so I got that. And I'm like, okay, that's good. And I'm like, I just kind of did basically, I was like, okay, I just need to hit the pocket. And I didn't hit the pocket. And then I checked it
did
and
you
I'm
go a little
like,
high for 610 and you just kicked out the.
yeah. Well, I was trying to play it safe and I played it too safe instead of just throwing a strike and sitting back down and thinking about it later. No, so when I left the 8 count, I stopped and did the math and I'm like, oh, okay, I still got it. I just need to spare it. And then I just Mika it.
Bummer.
Yeah. It just was one of those. It just was a bad shot. It wasn't I didn't get nervous or it just threw it bad. But yeah, it just hung on enough to
Yeah.
chop the 10 off the.
That would burn.
Especially bowling at a center that you're the pro shop guy at, you have to keep your nerves calm because you don't want to flip out.
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
So like inside you're frying, but you don't want to project that.
Like you feel like your face is warm, just pissed
Yeah.
off, and people are coming up to you and talking to you, and you're just like, get the heck away from me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
no.
one of the guys that I was bowling with apologizes to me for beating me in brackets.
Yeah.
I'm like, now is not the time to even want to. You don't have to apologize
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
just makes me more upset.
That's just gonna piss me off even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No, there was.
may or may not have went into the shop and like take a box and punched it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I went for a 300 earlier this year and hit my ankle on the 12 shot
No.
for 299. Almost dumped it in the
Yeah.
ditch. It was like I probably got a little quick. I'm not gonna lie, but I just coming down, it hit my ankle, like bounced off my ankle, and it hurt, but I didn't show it. And it just kind of slow rolled out to the gutter, and hooked back. It was a ghost, by the way. And it hooks back, and then how it like lazily hits or like pukes and hits the pocket. And
Don't ask Riley about punching things.
don't ask Riley. Yeah, Riley about punching things.
Doesn't he do that all the time though?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was embarrassing because if that would have been in the gutter, I never would have lived that down.
Now, there's few things more satisfying than going in the back and finding the cardboard box pile and taking a bevel knife and just stabbing the living crap out of the.
Oh, that's what I need in my life. I fouled on the front 8 and shot 270. That hurts. This is not having Riley. Yeah, good old Riley. So you want to let Riley tell that story? He'll be here in a minute, and then we can roast him.
It was. I don't think it was the Charmeleon day. It might.
No,
have
it
been
wasn't the Charmeleon day. That was the worst
Okay.
day of my life.
Yeah, there was one day at a tournament they were supposed to lay down.
The cheetah.
Yeah, they were supposed to put down cheetah, but they didn't.
They didn't strip.
They didn't strip. So they didn't strip.
They
it.
didn't strip from youth
So
leagues.
they laid down cheetah over top of a beat up youth condition.
Oh, great.
So yeah, we called it Charmeleon.
It played like a chameleon
cheetah,
pattern.
shark, and
It had
cheetah, shark, and
tendencies,
chameleon.
but
yeah.
it was yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it was.
You know how if you miss left on cheetah, the ball's just gonna boink, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it didn't do that. It just
Yeah.
shimmed.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. You could still feed it to the gutter, and it would still shape off the gutter like it's supposed to.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. But if you miss left,
If you missed left, it was worse.
I didn't.
It was.
It wasn't. It was
yeah.
harder than the chameleon or anything else. It was just stupid. Like it took
Yeah, 'cause
me
it was so far in between.
it took me
would,
5 games to double. Like it was stupid.
But yeah, there was
Got
one
more
day
beer?
where
We need more.
yeah.
Keep feeding it to me. I'm here for beer.
There was
Look
one
at
day
John's
where
comment.
where
You're
He
opening
goes,
now.
he goes,
Yeah.
my first 300 2 weeks ago in the third game, my teammates thanked me for shooting 203 the second game because the eliminator cut was 204, and he ended up winning with a
Oh my
230.
God.
Nice. Nice.
That's rough.
I do have a couple of
That-
questions in here. A couple guys have in here.
I can't tell you how many times, like in tournaments, I'll be in brackets and I'll shoot I'll go like 100 over, but then have that one, like those 2 games where it was like 170 and 160,
yeah.
and then those are the ones that make me no money. And then every other game was like 230, 220.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones that really fry you out because in tournaments, especially on the left side, right now, the eliminator is where I make the money from because I don't.
Yeah.
Normally, I can at least keep it in play and keep myself out of trouble. And if I have a halfway decent look, it's not like I'm going to catch a bad pair.
Right.
Really, everything's fresh. So I mean, even if it's a little bit different pair, it's like okay, well this, which is really interesting seeing pair to pair differences. In tournaments when the shot is fresh, 24/7. So that's a different.
That is definitely not citrusy at all.
That's a different animal. But yeah, normally I can at least keep my head above water, but even then it's like it's just those couple games that knock you out of the brackets or knock you out of the eliminator and when you otherwise are doing just fine.
You're just frying in the inside.
But yeah, so
I'm
Riley,
due
Riley's-
for a good fry out. I haven't had one of those. Yeah,
yeah,
Riley.
so Riley's fry out. We were at a center in Kansas City that wasn't
I was in Wichita.
wasn't great to
I was
begin
in
with.
Wichita.
And he just wasn't.
Speaking of Riley,
He couldn't get the shapes right. Couldn't get stuff worked out. It was just everything he did was the wrong move, and every ball was the wrong ball, and it's just one of those kind of comedic things where nothing is working out for you, and you can't even believe it's happening to you. Well, he got it figured out in the third game, and he shot 210 or 220, and kind of got going back the right direction. But then we got down. Then that's when we made the flip to the low end, and the low end's completely different than the high end, and so he spent 2 games frying, finally figured it out, and then had to start all over again from scratch. Started throwing it good, whatever else, and yeah, he came back one time and,
Speaking of
Oh,
the
yeah.
devil,
Oh.
here he comes. We're talking about your fry up.
Yeah.
Come on, go ahead and throw your hand
Oh
in.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking about it. Yeah.
yeah,
So
came
it-
back and punched a
Go
ball.
ahead.
ball.
Here,
It was at the-
sit here for a second. I'll let you sit there.
It was at the same center that the
The Chark Malian.
chark, the sheeta,
Yeah, the
whatever
sheeta,
you want
the
to call
chark
it.
malian.
It wasn't
Yeah.
that day though.
No, it wasn't that day. Do you know what pattern we were bowling on? You remember that?
I can't remember.
I just know I'm glad I wasn't there.
It's even worse because it was a
It was supposed to be
It was
easy.
a CP3 pattern. It was a Chris
Oh.
Paul house shot.
Yeah, yeah.
It was literally a Chris Paul
didn't
house
even
shot
remember,
that I
yeah.
fried out and fractured my hand on.
That girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
that's the hand fracture.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had got like.
He
I'm,
hammered-
I'm Riley, by the way.
Yeah, this is probably
Hi,
everybody.
Riley. Good to finally meet you.
Yes, same to you.
I'm just gonna keep drinking.
No, you're good. So we had bowled like, I don't know, 1 or 2 games, and there was a kid that went to Newman. His name's Tanner Vogel. He is a 2-hander that throws it harder than anybody
my
I've
God.
ever seen in my entire life. He
Yeah,
throws it so hard with so
I-
much on it.
I've never seen. I mean, we're talking like Oscu plus.
Like it's insane. It had to at least be 22 miles, if not faster,
Yeah,
two-handed.
That's insane.
It's nuts, and at least 500 revs. But anyway, he's throwing a proton physics up 7,
Yeah, they playing the twig with
Like,
a proton.
just
Yeah.
destroying the head pin. It's just incredible. He's down in Florida now. He's no longer bowling
Oh,
with
okay.
Newman in Wichita. But yeah, he's down in Florida. But he's just absolutely annihilating the head pin every single shot, and he's shooting 240 plus. And I'm trying to keep it on the right side of the head pin,
Yeah.
or get it to come off of 5. And with me, slower speed 500 revs, it rarely hangs ever on the
Yeah.
gutter. So I just got so fried out. I left, I don't know, probably 4 games in, and we hadn't made this or 3 games in, we hadn't made the flip yet down to the
Yeah.
low end. And I'd left, I don't know, 3 or 4 9-pins after having it just hang on the gutter the last shot.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is the move? I'm throwing a Fatal Venom, which, talking about balls you hate, I cannot stand that ball.
Oh yeah, you were listening
That-
on the car
Yeah, absolutely.
and listening and driving.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan
I-
of it either, so you're not the
I-
only one.
I cannot stand the Fatal Venom. I don't know how you like that ball.
Guess I'm the only one that likes it.
It's fantastic at getting 9
So it's an IQ tour.
or less.
He gave one to my wife. That's how much he loves it.
Yeah, I donated it. I was like, I'm done with this ball.
She made it look decent.
That silver's impossible
looks-
to plug too. By the way.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah, I love the look of it. I
Yeah.
don't like how it rolls. But I was
I
throwing.
hate the way that I can't plug it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The green. I've got the recipe for the green. I can match that perfect. That silver crap, impossible. Impossible.
The
It's just
silver
not-
I
it's
can
not
get
fun.
better. I think I have a picture of it that I could send you.
But yeah, we're like 3 games in. I left another 9-pin on the high end of the building, and I'm just not.
Yeah. You kind
I'm-
of got it figured out
Yeah.
before we made the flip.
Yep. And then we made the flip and the low end. Say,
completely different.
do we flip to 1 and 2, or was
We
it 3
flipped
and 4?
away. It was 1 and 2.
Was that?
Because yeah, we were on that end pair. Because I remember it was
Um,
one, or it might have been. I don't know.
I don't know. We flipped to the low end, and I'm just so pissed that I drove 3 hours, paid $300 in entry fees, and I can't shoot 200 on a house pattern.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting frying out, just mad at myself, and watching everybody around me shoot 240 plus, firing it at the head pin, which is a skill I don't have.
Yeah.
So Riley, we asked this question before, but what is one ball that you hated at first, like absolutely hated, and now you can't stop throwing it or keeping it out of your bag?
I put it in the comments. I don't have one that's like, I absolutely hated it, and then it's always in my bag. But when I first drilled the Affliction, I put my standard pin above the bridge layout on it,
Uh huh.
and that was before any of the like
The-
2LS
yeah,
stuff had
2LS.
come out. And it just, the cover was so strong that if I missed in, it went left, and if I missed right, it stayed right because it would roll out.
Mhm.
And I just had no miss room with it. So I just left it on the floor, and then 2LS stuff started coming out, and I was like, well, let's try that. Try a 2LS layout on it.
There we go.
What are we looking at?
I saw that the other day.
Yeah, we're looking at the. I can
Oh,
get the
the
green.
fatal?
The silver is the silver is awful.
Oh,
I can do the. And it actually cut good too, because most of the time you pour them, it's like, oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome, and then it cuts and looks like crap.
But
That one actually cut well.
But yeah, the Affliction for me initially was I was not a big fan of. Put a 2LS layout, which ended up just putting the pin 4 inches above my bridge, and it's great. It's fantastic at blending the super wet dry house shots where you throw it right and it's an instant 4 count or Greek church, and you miss in and you hit the 3 pin. So the
It kind of
Affliction for
chugs
me.
to the front part of the lane.
I'm sorry.
It kind of chugs to the front part of the lane.
Yeah.
That's kind of why it's good and when it blends it, you know.
Yeah, I really like that ball. Of course, I didn't bring it this week, but that's because I've thrown the flare here in Topeka at the center that we're bowling at, and I averaged 240 plus or more for all 8 games. I didn't even switch off of it on
Good.
a house pattern.
Good.
So,
I'm riding the backpack tomorrow.
so that ball was that ball's already proven in this center, so I figured I'd bring it instead.
Will, he's my doubles partner tomorrow. I've already told him I'm riding the backpack.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping having him with me, he's gonna pop off, I don't know, 2 or 3 300s with the way he bowls in a center that he hates.
Yeah, it sucks.
I'm gonna try to
Gotta
stay
love
on last.
Look, I should laugh.
But I'm gonna be able. It's not gonna be a house shot. I'm gonna be able to throw urethane.
It's
so
just
I might.
the way your face was. I'm just gonna
I'll
stay
be
on last.
middle of the pack.
Oh,
All right.
Kind of just looping back to end that story, I left another 9 pin at Ward Parkway on a house pattern with the fatal after I just washed out and
Yeah.
came back and punched my plastic ball as hard as I could.
You like hammer fisted it.
Yeah,
Why?
I didn't go
Oh, yeah.
I didn't go down.
Yeah.
Oh, you went knuckles
I went
forward?
Yeah, I went
Oh,
straight
yeah,
down
yeah.
on the spare ball.
That'll do it.
And I knew it was gonna hurt doing it. I knew it was a bad idea going into it,
Yeah.
but I did it anyway.
Well,
And
why a spare ball? Why not the table?
Well, because
It
the
was the
spare ball
closest
hooks
thing.
off the planet.
the old spare ball did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the closest thing. It was whatever. I was mad.
It was the
Yeah.
So-
wasn't it on the table?
I mean, I didn't want to damage as much as I dislike this center. I didn't want to damage any of their equipment. I've worked in bowling since college back in 2015, and I realized that stuff's not cheap, and bowling center margins
Well,
can
neither is fixing your hand.
can be pretty thin. So punched my spare ball, hurt a lot more than I was expecting, and then picked up the spare ball to go shoot my 9 pin that I had just left, and that hurt a lot as well. And then I tried to go throw the next shot and got like 2 steps into my approach twice, and I was like, yeah, I'm not bowling anymore.
Yeah.
And just went and got a bag of ice.
And then it started kind of puffing up. And
Yep. So
Ouch.
that was my fry out story, and now I don't hit anything ever anymore.
Newsflash, folks. I don't fry out.
Yeah, I'm just like, whatever. I'm bowling. This is better than sitting at work. So
That's false. I just fry out. I don't like it to myself.
Yeah.
I'll give you your seat back.
Oh, you're good, buddy. We're getting ready to sign off, I think.
Yeah. I think we're getting ready to wrap it up. We've been going for a little bit.
Yep.
Little bit here. We need to get some
Some
food,
grub. We gotta go
head out to
bowl.
the tournament. So, any final thoughts or anything you wanna plug or anything you wanna?
No, I mean, you can use my code on Coolick as well, Will Mateffy 10.
There you go.
Yep.
Can you put it in the chat for us?
I'll get
Yeah,
it.
Okay.
I'll put it in chat.
I'll
So,
add it in the description.
Well, we'll add it in
yeah,
the description so that way it's in there. Okay.
What'd you say?
We'll add it
Yeah,
in the
we'll
description.
put it in
that way
the
it's there.
description too.
Oh, I got it.
So,
You can check out my pro shop, the Bowlers Lounge Pro Shop Sunray.
Hmm.
Open Monday to Friday. So, and then we're doing 20% off on Black Friday as well. So,
Free drilling?
yeah, free drilling.
No.
That the drilling's where the margins are at. Like people don't understand how much bowling balls actually cost.
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of insane.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, I
may
think-
get it at like the online price, but then when they go through the labor of the drilling and the grips and the slug, that's pretty much the same price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
So, might as well just get it from a pro shop, because then once it cracks, we can warranty it.
Yeah, see that's
Spaz dog.
yeah. Now that's the interesting thing is that I would rather for the consumer, I think it's better to buy from pro shops because it's a one stop whatever. If anything goes wrong, the pro shop takes all you have to do is just take it back to the pro shop, they'll fix it.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed the ones that brought the outside drills in because I didn't have to talk to them about it. There wasn't 30 minutes picking out the ball.
Right.
I didn't have to order it. I didn't have to wait on the distributor who wasn't going to have it. I didn't have to, deal with any of that stuff. They brought a ball in. I spent 15 minutes putting holes in it, and they were out the door. And if anything happened that wasn't like, that I screwed up anyway, then you're going to have to talk to where you bought it from.
Yep.
But from a consumer point of view, just buy it from a pro shop because then the pro shop takes care of everything. So,
Will, thanks for joining us today, man. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a good time.
yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Next time we need to have this was kind of a,
We just kind of got in here and just kind of BS'd around, really.
yeah, we might have to, we'll figure out an actual topic or something to kind of get into. Do you bowl regionals, a lot of big competitive stuff, I imagine?
I don't bowl too many regionals. I kind of want to now,
Uh-huh.
just because it's from Minnesota you have to drive at least like 7 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
That's right.
The closest ones are Iowa. And
Ugh.
those are 3.5 hours or
Yeah.
5 hours.
So you're in the Midwest region? Oof. See, the problem in Kansas is the Midwest region stops are closer to us than what the Southwest region stops
Yeah,
are because
right,
they have
yeah.
us in the Southwest. So they
Yeah,
want us
right.
down in Texas and stuff like that. So it's like 10 hours.
Yeah, so that's hard for me. Otherwise, I mean, I bowl a lot of the bigger tournaments around here, and like the Fusions, the Ebonite Fall, Winter
Yeah.
Classics in
Yeah.
Iowa,
What?
Waterloo, 11frame.com Open,
Mhm.
Yep.
Port.
Yep. We'll have to get you out for the Swiss Trios one year.
Yeah, you guys send me that date, and I'll
That tournament is a blast. You want to mention something about the big stream coming up December 18th?
Yeah, we've got our big kind of our local dog rescue fundraising stream and kind of the end of the year recap of ball of the year and whatever else. I've got our brands, he's got Motive, and then James is going to be talking kind of a little bit of everything. But
We're going to talk a little bit about balls of the year or stuff like that. So
yep,
got some topics
so
for
that's
you.
December 18th. I don't have a time yet, but
Basically
it'll
a
be
2021 breakdown.
yeah.
7, 8 o'clock ish, probably,
Okay.
because
Night stream.
after we're done at Rollcrest,
Yep.
drive time here.
Oh, it's a Saturday.
Yep.
It's a
It
Saturday.
is a Saturday
it's
night.
Saturday night.
We'll have some Motive stuff to give away, some Storm stuff to give away, a little bit of everything. So looking forward
Sounds like
to
a good
it.
time.
What's that?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Wednesday. It's just, December 18th, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. So that's it. I guess we
Yep.
got that's it for today. We're going to go bowl tournament on Taj Mahal pattern at the most boinkiest place in the world. Sorry. on
Excitement.
Old Twisters. And yeah,
Oh yeah, just
I need more beer.
I was gonna say the quickie on the Swiss Trios tournament. It's trios, so it's 3-person teams. You get randomly drawn. You get randomly matched up with a different team. There's 48 teams. We bowl at North Rock and Wichita. There's 48 teams. It's full every year. We draw people. I mean, Kevin Williams, AJ Rice, Michael Holloman,
They usually win it because
Chris-
they're left-handed bang on thing.
Chris Prather,
Nick Pate.
Perry Crowell,
Nick Pate.
Nick Pate, Spencer Robarge. I mean, half the field. I mean,
You can keep
probably
going.
not half the field. A quarter of the field, anyway, is professional bowlers. We've had
Yeah.
Wes Malott and
There's
a
lots
lot
of
of the Wichita State people.
yeah, it's a lot of the current and former.
there's a
Wichita
lot of
State people.
side action too though. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of the professionals at the Ebonite Winter and Fall Classics.
those are in Iowa, right?
Waterloo.
I've been wanting to go bowl that, and maybe I'll just go bowl that one.
Yeah,
It's a good event. It's
I
a
didn't
really
know
good
that you
event.
bowl that. Maybe I'll go bowl if I know you're bowling.
yeah. The unique.
It's I think I'm bowling in the one in. I think it's in February, but someone told me it's January.
You gonna bowl
it's
the
usually
winter?
always
Oh.
in September and
Are you
February.
gonna bowl the Winter Classic?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll look.
Depending on
At,
what date it is.
maybe I'll look at going up
Yeah.
there and bowling.
The unique thing about the Swiss Trios is that every game after the first one is a position round. There's 5 points possible per game, and then after that they just match you up with. So if there's like 7 3-2 teams, they just match you up highest pinfall, next highest, next highest, whatever else. So that's kind of how they do the ties with that. But yeah, it's not
It
You
gets
don't-
intense though.
There's no
Okay.
round robin
Doesn't
type
it?
anything. It's like if you're bowling well, you're going to keep bowling other people who are bowling well, and so it's
Right.
incredibly difficult to win unless you're lefties with purple hammers.
It gets really really intense though. Like it's
Say last
especially day
1 to 3
two.
years.
Yeah, day two you can hear people really getting pumped up. So
They built their own pattern for it, and it was
Hard.
31 or 32 mils.
It was hard.
And 30.
This last one?
Yeah,
I think it was 37 or 38 foot.
37, 38 feet, 33 mils.
the house
love it.
video Nick Pate even said in there, this is stupid.
Yeah, so
He
it's
always
like-
says that.
So you're not going to beat lefties with purple hammers.
Dude, it was hard.
Yeah.
I bowl-
Happy
you know,
Thanksgiving
he
to
bowls
everybody.
up here.
Say what?
Nick Babe bowls up here a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's from here. He
That's
lives
true,
in
yeah.
Timber Grove Heights, so sometimes I see him on Tuesday nights.
Sweet. Well, you have to give him crap for that then, because the pattern was hard though. He shot like 130 out of the gate.
You guys bowled
There's a bunch of
the
130s.
Midnight Bowler Society.
No,
No,
but
we haven't,
Riley
but
and I have
we've
talked
seen a
about.
few of
I
those.
really want to do that.
Riley and I have talked about going out
Yeah.
to bowl that this year. The $1,000 entry.
Yeah.
We've actually didn't we say that we're you and me and Bo? Didn't we talk about this?
I'd really want to. I know Bo wants to.
I want to. I'm
It's a
in.
hard pattern.
Not yet.
Two
very,
balls.
very
You only
hard.
get two balls.
Yeah, you can throw as many as you want in practice, but once practice is over, you have to pick 2, and then you use that.
I would literally
for
bring
all of
40 just
He
to
would
throw
have
two.
his promotion and his mix.
You're a thing.
them. Say,
I would probably
throw
go-
a spare ball.
There's 2 promotions.
Say one of them's a spare ball, so maybe I should bring 2 spare balls. One
I
that
would
goes
probably
straight and one that
go
looks-
tank
Yeah,
blitz.
you're
I'd probably go.
hooking- yeah,
I'd
you're
probably go
hooking
like
spare
tank
ball
blitz and
too.
shock. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Blitz and Ghost.
I'll pick one spare
Shocker
ball.
ghost, yeah, tank blitz and a shocker ghost is probably what I do. But anyways, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We will be back next Sunday at 9 o'clock Central Time,
Yep.
9 a.m. Central Time as normal. Thanks for hanging out with us, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
thanks,
great.
Will, for
Thanks,
being
buddy.
here.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me crash your
Yeah,
party.
we'll
Yeah.
definitely have you on again. Maybe we can figure
And
out
Riley for popping
an
his head in.
actual topic for next time.
Yeah,
So-
well, we wanted to kind of get in here and just introduce you and.
Oh
have
yeah,
fun, so.
sometimes.
I love just
yeah.
talking bowling.
Yeah,
exactly.
And just let the
Yeah.
chat kind of
Control.
guide us. But
So it's a different episode here, but thanks, man. We appreciate it. We got to go bowl some stuff, and you have a great Thanksgiving. All right.
You too.
All right.
Cat feature.
Peace out.
See you later, guys.
see ya.